Me dep on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me dep on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. As a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep this secret quiet. The royal boy is here, he be chilling on the pier. The weather so smooth, so nice, with a light young rum and ice. Say step on the island, no fear, no judgment on the island, it's clear. When Maxwell bring a surprise, we receive the package in a small size. Me up on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me up on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. Cause a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep this secret quiet. Me see a man in a wheelchair appear, him with a short gal vibing right near. A statesman just come off him flight, with a young thing on him left and right. There's a man a stand up at the gates, him want come in, he can't wait. Him look very smart and wise, foundation boy so nice. Me up on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me up on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. Cause a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep this secret quiet. Mr. Musa call late at night, him want come over, want and invite. Him have no vibes, we no rate till. And Maxwell tell a idiot say the party's done. We laugh cause smart get one STD. Him living too young, wild and free. From one Russian gal, intercourse. His wife no happy, she want divorce. Next day come around, it's safari time. We a enjoy, we self-relax and wine. Jeffrey a drive we round in a the Jeep. Him a chill guy, can't believe them call him a creep. Look how the monkey them a climb up and jump. Look on them go, them a climb and jump. Epstein Island a the place we be, if you want nature and animosity. Me up on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. You email me a brief so silent, but the conversation seem no private. Me up on Epstein Island, chilling on a Epstein Island. Cause a young thing give me excitement, hard to keep the secret quiet.
DJ Marks generated this shit.
Yes, sir. We know. Okay.
I gotta get the bag. Full load.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? We're back. Sorry for the delay. I'll keep this brief, but you know, another later one than planned. Today has been absolutely insane. Your boy, Always Marco, went out and bought a car today. I know. You know, the Lambo's in the shop, but it was an insane day, and I was taking the car to get an inspection. It's a used vehicle, getting an inspection, making sure it's good before I buy it, etc. Honestly, I'm impressed with the length of time I was able to go without a car. Basically, this entire past year, I didn't have a car, and you know what? It honestly didn't make that much of a difference. You know, the previous well, in 2024 and 2025, when I was spending the majority of my time in Thailand, you don't need a car. You just take the public transit, which is so cheap and efficient and clean and safe that it's fine. And then when I was in Thailand, the last car that I owned, which was still back in Canada, I sold it. It was a 2017 Toyota RAV4, amazing vehicle. Shout out to Toyota. And when I decided, I was like, hey, I'm going to be staying in Thailand for a bit, I sold it back to the dealership that I got it from. And I honestly think I finessed that. I bought it in 2017, and it was a 2017 RAV4, lightly used. It had like 10,000 kilometers on it. I don't know what that is in miles for the Americans. It had 10,000 kilometers on it, and I think they wanted 30K Canadian. And so I put whatever amount down, and then I, financed it. I paid that car off in 2021. And then when I sold it in early 2024, I think they bought it back for like 15K or something like that. So if you really think about it, I had that car for 7 years, almost 7 full years, and I paid $15,000 for it. So that car really only cost me $2,000 a year to have in the grand scheme when all is said and done, which is amazing. This time around, I ended up buying a literal beater. So since I've been back here in Canada, I was like, I'm not going to buy a car. This is a temporary thing. I don't know how long I'm going to be back for, et cetera, et cetera. And, as the legal issues carried on, the estimated return time that I was thinking I'll go back to Thailand just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed to the point where it was like, hey, I'm like borrowing the vehicles of relatives and like, not that I really do too much socially, but it's like if I'm going to some sort of family event or something, usually somebody can come and pick me up and it's not a big deal. But I was like, let me just get like a beater just to have it, just so I can do my gym and grocery runs. And I really don't go anywhere, like I was talking to a relative about this today and I was like, where have you seen me go in the last year besides the gym, visiting family, and the grocery store? I'm like, I'm not going on dates. And they're like, you should. And I was like, please don't even the thought of like, my mind isn't there. I have so much that I'm dealing with. And so yeah, I just got a beater. And even though it's a beater and it's like for sure the cheapest car I've ever bought, and hopefully a very temporary thing, boy, oh boy, does the does the bag just add up. This past year, you know what it is? It's my Saturn return for all you astrology girlies out there. It's my Saturn return. If you know what this is, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I like regret that my ex-girlfriend told me what a Saturn return was, because ever since I've been going through the shit that I've been going through the past 3 years, especially the past 1 year, I'm like, this is absolutely what's happening to me. An astrological transit that happens when the planet Saturn goes back to the exact spot it occupied in the sky when you were born. It takes about 27 to 30 years for Saturn to finish one orbit, meaning people experience this major life milestone in their late 20s, late 50s, and late 80s. And look what it says. Your first Saturn return shifts you from youth into true adulthood, pushing you to take responsibility for your career, relationships, and life path. My big problems started when I was 27. All these lawsuits and shit started when I was 27, 3 years ago. I'm now 30. And I'm not an astrology person, but fuck, bro, is it hard to feel like this isn't the real
Rob V 2026 donated 10 Canadian dollars. Always Marco is
Bumba
Al on
Rob.
Spotify. Boomba
Rob,
Quad.
thank you so much. Yes, that's another announcement that I was going to make. Always Marco is now on Spotify. I'm in the process of uploading all of my past video, like my entire catalog to Spotify. I didn't realize that you could even do this. I know they used to have a thing called Spotify for podcasts, and now it's called Spotify for creators. And so if you go on Spotify and you search Always Marco, I realized that more people actually use this than I thought. And since I don't really use Spotify to watch videos, I assumed nobody did. But there's plenty of people who watch Spotify, who watch videos. Like, remember Joe Rogan was only on Spotify for a while? You could watch like the full videos on there. And so I realized like there's people who, and this is actually smart, who rather than paying for YouTube Premium and Spotify Premium, they're like, I'll just use Spotify Premium or buy YouTube Premium and have YouTube Music, and I'll just watch on there. So for people who don't like the YouTube ads, if you don't have YouTube Premium, you don't like the ads, you can watch all of my content on Spotify going forth. I don't know if Spotify plays ads too. I'm sure they do. But if you get my point. If you have Spotify Premium with no ads, you can now watch all of the content on Spotify. So appreciate that. Thumbs up the ting. Click like on the stream. There's 40 people watching right now as we get this started, and only 12 Bumbleclot likes. So we have to figure that out, right? Otherwise, you're betraying me. Thank you again. Thank you again to Rob. Sam Lenz, what up? Happiness Handmade, what up? When you were performing Nicki's only on a weekly basis, you didn't have legal problems. So yeah, it's a Nicki or the egg type question, isn't it, Sam Lenz? Was I not having legal problems because I was performing Nicki Minaj, or was I performing Nicki Minaj? How does it make sense? What am I even trying to say? What am I even trying to say here? Was I not having legal problems because I was performing Nicki, or was I performing Nicki because I didn't have legal problems? I don't know. They seem to go hand in hand. But you know what, dude? Over the past year, there's been so many different things that, like, you know, normal life costs pop up. Oh, you got to go get an oil change, whatever. But in the past year, there's not been a single small thing happen to me. It's always been a huge fucking thing. A huge, like, last year I told you guys about how apparently my previous accountant never filed Alberta provincial tax. I'd paid federal tax, but I'd never paid provincial tax. I didn't even know this was a fucking thing. So the government one day froze my bank account and took $4,000 because they said you owe us $4,000. I had no fucking idea. So that's $4,000 right there. Then I was like, okay, we'll climb out of the hole. $4,000. We'll climb out of the hole. Then I hired a new bookkeeper and accountant to make sure my affairs were good. So to do my 2024, 2025, 2026 taxes, the bookkeeper needs about $1,000 for each year. So that's $3,000. The CPAs need it's like $1,500 or $1,000 additional for what they're doing. So do the math on that. We're talking like almost $6,000 for those 2024, 2025, 2026. So let's do a running tally. Now we're at $10,000. Then the lawyers, I've probably spent, I don't know, I honestly couldn't even tell you. It makes me sick to think about tens of thousands of dollars. So now let's call it we're at 50, 60K out of nowhere. And then don't forget the federal taxes. We got to pay the federal taxes. And then now I bought this car, a few grand. I literally bought the cheapest, most like, I took it for an inspection today, spent the $100 or whatever to do the inspection. Like, it passed the test. I was like, okay, I don't care if this thing literally looks like shit, which it does. As long as it can get me, it's the grocery getter. You know, the groceries, the gym, the family relative's house, whatever. I know I'm forgetting stuff too. Like, there was other stuff that wasn't like purely financial. Like when I moved into this place that I'm living in now, the first day of the lease, it flooded. The first day of the lease, it flooded. The landlord had to put me up in an Airbnb in a hotel for like 3-4 days while they came in. Then I didn't have a floor for like a month. So it was just like half of the floor was hardwood. Half of it was just like the cement underneath because I was waiting for them to come put a new floor in. Then also last year, I lost my Patreon, got kicked off Patreon. Also, more shit that I can't say that cost me $10,000+ like related to lawsuit shit. It's just been like, I truly don't, it's truly like indescribable. And it makes me look back and think like, some of you will actually be able to appreciate this. Sam Lenz, I know you'll be able to appreciate this because you have been going through your own trials in the last couple of years. And in moments like this, I literally look to people like you to as an example of like, you know, staying strong. Because there was previous times in my life when I was like so stressed, like 2022. And look, because I owed the government like, I don't know, $10,000 for taxes. I look back on that and I would literally kill to be back in that position. I would literally kill to be back where I was in 2022 when I was worried. Because now I see how much worse it could get. And then I see like, even in moments like this, I look at situations where there's people who like, I just saw a story the other day about like some young girl who died of cancer young. And I'm like, okay, she would probably be wishing she had my problems. And so it's like a double-edged sword where on the one hand, like it can always be worse, right? So don't get me wrong. It's not like you shouldn't not feel your feelings or whatever by saying, oh, somebody has it worse, because that's relative, of course, and you could always say that about anyone. But man, it makes me nervous, and it makes me scared for like in the future. Please don't tell me that at some point in the future I'm gonna look back on this time and be like, I wish I was back there. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll be like, you know what? When I'm 70 and my granddaughter is on hologram AI OnlyFans or whatever the degenerate thing is when I'm 70, if the Earth even still exists, maybe I'll be like, man, I wish I could go back to when I was 30. At least then I was young and able-bodied and I was dealing with the lawsuits and the whatever. But at least, please don't tell me that's the case, you know? But sometimes I try to imagine. I'm like, man, what if I have a baby one day and the baby has complications and they're in the NICU at the hospital and we're not sure if they're going to live? I bet in a moment like that, I would be wishing to be dealing with the problems I have now. But of course, it's impossible to have that perspective when you're in the middle of the shit. And man, this past like 12, 13 months, I've just been in the shit. I've just literally, where's the fucking poop almost sound of? I've just been in the shit, and there's no way to like sugarcoat it or mince words or like, you know, it just is what it is. And so that being said, I've been doing everything I can. You know, your boy got a little bit of sponsorship money recently. We love to see that. I've taken on some extra like side gig type work, doing like photography and videography for people locally, which, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell just from me live streaming in you know, in front of a green screen. But actually, I'm kind of nice with it on the camera. Like, I know what I'm doing with photography and videography. I understand how to expose the photo properly. I know how to shoot S-Log on my Sony camera. I know how to, I understand the exposure triangle, frame rate, ISO, shutter speed, all of that, aperture. So, you know, I've been doing what I can. And of course, still streaming, still making content, still creating alwaysmarco.vip, which is fully operational, early access to all the new content I'm posting, plus exclusive content that I'm going to be posting on here, like my unreleased Bottom G interview, like the extended Matt Cox video. I know you've heard me talk about this a couple of times now, and you might be like, well, why hasn't he put it out yet? Dude, I'll tell you why I haven't put it out. Because like clockwork, every time I'm on a roll, I get an email from one of my lawyers being like, can you review this 60-page memo? And like, now I have to read the whole thing. I have to check references. I have to like do my own legal research. Like, it's its own part-time job. And it really made it so that 2026 just wasn't what I was planning for it to be. Like, the way things were going, I was like, bro, 2026, I'm going to be able to hire an editor. I'm going to have somebody who's editing all of the streams into shorter segments and like clips so that I'm constantly feeding the streets with content while I work on my bigger videos, like my infiltrating a pyramid scheme, like my man on the street, IRL, you know, investigations and stuff. And when you're dealing with lawsuits, all of that shit, just like, forget everything you were planning on doing. Forget everything you were planning on doing. This is what you're doing now. So it's just, you know, I just want to say that I really appreciate all the goons. You know, we're 2 days away from the 7-year anniversary of when I started this YouTube journey. GoonCon 7 coming up. Still working on getting the details sorted for the live event, which will be someplace in Edmonton and sometime soon. And yeah, I just want to say, like, some of you guys, like, I'm looking at Sam Lands and Paz in the chat. If I scroll, I'm sure I'll find more names. But, like, you know, y'all have been early goons. Sam Lands and Mackenzie Butterfly Kenzo got me this Stream Deck back in the day, which made the biggest difference, because I literally used to, like, have a playlist of YouTube videos on my phone with, like, sound effects. So, like, this ding sound effect, I used to pull up the YouTube video of the ding sound effect and hold my phone like this to the microphone to play the sound effect. Like, that's how ghetto, like, you know, I was using a Logitech webcam, you know? So I'm very proud of how far I've come, and I really do hope that, like, the troubles I'm having behind the scenes don't spell the end of the journey. But you know, I mean it when I say I'm doing everything I can. I'm working as hard as I can to like still try to post content and take care of my own obligations and do perform the natural obligations and take care of my own obligations and still like, you know, be a normal human being. And yeah, today the next multi-$1,000 development was the car, getting the car. So I finally have a car again, which is a very strange feeling because, like I said, I didn't need a car when I was in Asia. And then back here, I almost didn't want to like get a car because I was like, if I get a car, it's like one more thing tying me to Edmonton, which if I want to leave again to go to Thailand, which I do hope that I will, I don't want to like have an excuse of like, oh, but I bought the car. So that's why I bought just a fucking beater of a car. That way it's like if I have to dump it or resell it for $1,000 or whatever, it's not a big deal. And I can, you know, no love lost. It's not like I'm getting myself into a 3-year lease with a fucking BMW or some nonsense like that. So, yeah, it's just, we're trying to do it. We're doing what we can, man. We're trying to make it happen. We're trying to, you know, what if I go broke and I got no more racks to spend on you? For real, Viz Mayhem. Okay, but look, Sam here also is here. Alex FPV, yeah, OG Goons. Caleb, W's for Chase Sanders, says Connor Banshee. Wow, that's a throwback. Saturn Ion Redline confirmed. A Jetta. Y'all are hilarious. Yeah, performing only. That's true. I did not mention what kind of car it is. Matty Mads, what up? He got a 2027 Ferrari, lightly used, yes. Provincial tax made it up, so true. Straight Out of BS podcast says, hey, everyone, Jordan from the Provo Canyon Expose here. Just want to say thank you so much for keeping awareness on this topic. Provo is going to try to rebranding and reopening. Oh, is this were you actually part of it? Okay, wait, I gotta watch the whole video to see, but that's wild because I think you've been here in the chat before. Straight Out of BS podcast. Yeah, Ben, Reckless Ben is such a legend. He's on such a generational run right now with the bricks and minifigs thing. He's on the run that I should have been on in 2023 if I hadn't gotten sued. But yeah, Reckless Ben, man, what a legend. You don't have to pay tax on Alberta on used vehicles. 1.5 million subs gained in 3 months. Is that what Ben did? That's awesome. Yeah, the bricks and minifigs thing was such a saga, and now this video that we're going to look at has 6 million views in 4 days, which is insane. Buy your next used car from the Daily Driven Exotics Garage in Alberta. They have a couple Ferraris and Lambos for sale. I mean, what are you saying? Even a used Ferrari or Lambo is still going to be ridiculously expensive. You were in the expose, okay. 50 Cent blood in the shit type beat, hilarious. I took an S-Log earlier, y'all are ridiculous. But MHS14 says, it doesn't get easier, we just become more resilient and tend to say, it is what it is. A lot, LOL. What used to trigger us at 30 just doesn't matter in our 40s. Yeah. I hope that's the fucking case, dude. Look on the bright side. In 10 years from now, all MLMs may potentially be illegal. Very unlikely. And you could have been the main part of that. Just keep hanging in there. Oh, I'll be hanging one way or... I'm either going to be hanging the way you're thinking or the way you're thinking. Paris Hilton gave Ben a huge shout out on the gram yesterday. Love that. Any Ultima love? Nope. Do what Reckless Ben does and recruit some fresh-faced kids to infiltrate MLM since your face is too recognizable. Could be, yep. Could be the move. Adam Freedom, rest in peace. I need to become a numbers guy. Happiness Handmade, thank you for saying that. R.I.P. Dryden and Fiji Water, wow. Papa Kale, where you at? But yeah, don't worry. One day you'll be in a BMW X5M competition. Literally, even if... I honestly think that even if streaming didn't like make me any money, I would still do it because it's just become such a part of my like routine over the last 7 years. And I love doing it. I think it's fun. I have a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs. I love chatting with the goons. And it's like a community, you know, it's always shifting. There's people coming, people going. But, you know, I think I would still do it just because I have so much fun with it. And it truly is therapeutic for me because so much of the day... Bomba.
Anthony P. Santos DIDDDDDD. 50 Canadian dollars.
Anthony, you're a legend. Thank you, bro.
I just died of your arms
Legend. For real. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was going to say that I would honestly just do it because what you guys don't see is like I really do only go to the grocery store and the gym and then I'm here. And a lot of the time when I'm home, it's me in silence, not feeling very good, to be honest. Like editing, it's boring to edit. I'm sitting here reading legal documents and feeling anxious about what's going to happen with that. You know, and I got a very sweet text from CoffeeZilla yesterday. Was that yesterday or the day before? Literally yesterday. Just like checking in on me, which is wild because yesterday I was wearing my CoffeeZilla merch shirt from when he was dropped the merch line for the Logan Paul lawsuit. And he sends me this text just like checking in on me. And literally aside from him, I have nobody I know that can even like remotely relate to what I'm going through. And even CoffeeZilla, his trials and tribulations, I'm not trying to downplay anything, but it's like, of course, a lawsuit is always going to be stressful, but CoffeeZilla can afford the lawyers. You know, every time CoffeeZilla drops, he gets millions of views. I don't even have a single video with 1 million views. So even just like financially speaking, it's like the anxiety is always going to be there because of the uncertainty of what's going to happen and the decision-making process. But when it comes to like the financial aspect, you know, even that I have kind of a mixed view on because on the one hand, yeah, it fucking sucks. Like there's no way I'm able to even think about a future. You know, I talk about like the price of homes and things a lot. It's not even like, it's not even something I can think about because the situation is so ridiculous that any like future planning, like when people ask me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's like, I literally cannot even answer that question. I honestly can't. I could tell you where I hope to be in 5 years, not in tens of thousands of dollars of legal debt and staying up every night wondering what's going to happen and being sued. I would hope that, but I honestly can't even plan that. And it sucks because I'm at a point in my life, like I'm 30, I should be thinking about stuff like that, and I just can't. And so, but at the same time, it could be a lot worse. At the same time, I think, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. As long as you're able to make enough money to keep a roof over your head and eat food, then it's not like, you know, it's not like I have dependents relying on me. If I had children, it'd be way more stressful. If I had a wife, it'd be way more stressful. So, yeah, you know, it's, you know, we'll figure it out. And yeah, Happiness Handmade, I see you saying about throw a GoFundMe for real. I mean, it's you know the saying, it gets to a point. We're at a point, and we've been, but you know, my lawyer has advised me not to talk about the specifics, and so I'm still working it out with them to see like what my options are. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get to this video here. Do a who took the goon quiz poll. Hilarious. Get rid of okay. Does the PBD podcast still try putting their logo on the Fiji water bottles? I didn't know if they did that. Appreciate you, Chimichangas. Butterfly Kenzo, what up? All hell CoffeeZilla. Crazy to think it's been almost 8 years of being here, right? The time just flew. We went through this period during COVID where it's like we went through like a warp tunnel. You know, in Avengers Endgame, where like they snap people and they come back and they're like, whoa, it's been 5 years. That's what COVID felt like. What up, Michaela Forcia's cat? CoffeeZilla is a very genuine human. Absolutely. Wife equals stress confirmed. Hilarious. 8 years of Goonigans. I don't remember when I joined this channel. Probably 6 years ago. Wow. I was working as an IT director of an MLM and hating my life every day. Wow. See, in 5 years, you'll still have the goons. Inshallah. 2020 Halo Nights. Jesse P. Thank you, bro. Why are you staying in this country? You have no kids. You're not married. GTFO. I don't have kids, but you know, my relatives do have kids. I have a lot of like little cousins and nieces and nephews, and there's going to come a point where, you know, they're all off doing their own thing. They're teenagers. They don't want anything to do with me, and it goes quick. You know, I see how fast my nieces grew up in it. Like, I've actually like not to be like too emotional, but I've literally shed a tear before, just sitting and thinking like, man, in 2017 when they were still really little and like cute and, you know, would have just done anything to like have a little play date or like movie night or something. I was wasting so much fucking time out here like chasing girls and working in the nightclub scene and like trying to make my own mark and like get my photo with whichever famous rapper was in town or whatever. And like, you know, I wasn't thinking about watching Frozen and, you know, playing with dolls and whatever. And I should have been, you know, doing more of that. And so, you know, I'm really trying to be like a good, I'm trying to be good Uncle Marco, you know, to all the little cousins and stuff that I have. And so, it's definitely a conflict. It's definitely like, you know, having that support network is also something that's like important to my mental health. Like what you're saying is true. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. Why would I be here? You make a valid point. I could go back to Thailand and live cheaply and, you know, whatever work I'm doing here, like I'm sure I could do there in photography, videography, but I still have legal shit here that might require my attendance in person. And I don't know when that's going to pop up. That could happen at any time. And in terms of like mental health, having the support network of my family there has actually been a huge benefit. Just even literally having somebody to like that I can link up with in person and sit down and like have them tell me like, yo, it's going to be okay, breathe, whatever. Like, I, you know, I'm not implying anything, but in Thailand, there's a lot of famous people. Like you can search influencer Thailand death, influencer Thailand suicide. And there's a lot. There's a lot. Even just like an hour away from Bangkok, there's a town called Pattaya, Pattaya. And this is known for being like a degenerate party city. Like a lot of the clips you'll see on social media of like, you know, dudes with the meta glasses walking down some dingy street and there's girls like half naked, like trying to grab them and stuff. A lot of that is actually filmed in Pattaya, not in Bangkok. And there's this phenomenon in Pattaya called the Pattaya Flying Club. And what it refers to is usually older men who come from like Australia, Canada, the UK, the USA. And basically what they do is they get a little condo, they go on a bender with whatever money, savings, cash, debt that they have access to, and they just like drink beer all day, you know, buy escorts and do drugs and whatever else. And then when the bender is over, after however many months they can carry it on for, they leap from the balcony of their condo and they fall to their death. And that's why it's called the Pattaya Flying Club. And it's such a prevalent thing that they have literally a name for it. And every 6 months at least, I'll hear about some influencer who I've never heard of before, who has gone there and like done that. If you search here, what's with all the suicides in Pattaya? It's called the Pattaya Flying Club. This is a Reddit thread here. So a lot of it also has to do. There was one influencer who was like a body mod, Mary Magdalene, Thailand. This came up on my feed. Canadian Mexican social media influencer known as Mary Magdalene died at age 33 after falling from the 9th floor balcony of Patong Tower in Phuket, Thailand. This was her. She was like a body modification influencer. It was kind of scary, but you know, you can imagine that she had a lot of like strong opinions being posted about her in comments and stuff. And did she fall? I don't know. There was also another, I think he was like a fitness lifestyle creator recently who he drowned. Yeah, Connor Murphy. This just happened a month ago, July 7th, 2026. Fitness and fitness influencer and YouTuber Connor Murphy died at 32 in an apparent drowning. Do we know? We don't know. So, you know, the footage that I saw in the video was like he had trashed this Airbnb that he was living in and then seemingly drowned. Maybe he was tweaking. Maybe he was, I don't know. But the loneliness, I think, is something that's real. And I actually think I definitely struggled with loneliness when I was there because even though I had made great friends there, shout out to my boy Franz and Liam and Jaden and John and Manuel, I feel like even despite that, you know, And even despite my efforts to, like, you know, at nighttime I call home and I talk to somebody, it's just not the same. You know, it's not the same. You know that you can't just get in the car and drive 20 minutes and go, you know, visit your grandma or whatever. It's just different. And when you've lived in a place, like I lived in Canada for almost 30 years, 27 years before I had ever like spent a long period of time elsewhere. I've traveled, but I never spent like a month plus living somewhere else. And yeah, it's obviously it's always going to be challenging. So yeah, it's a it's a lot. And I just, you know, you guys tell me it's going to be okay, then I'll take your word for it. You know, I'll take your word for it. But, you know, let's see what happens. Anyways, I want to move on. Thank you guys again. Streamlabs link in the chat. GoonCon 7 soon come if you're in Edmonton and surrounding area. Always Marco.vip. Holla at your boy. Membership. Blah, 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 blah. And yeah. Okay. Running from your problems delays the inevitable. So true. So I'm going to start not at the very beginning of this video, but I'm just going to give you the brief. I'm just going to give you the brief summary thus far. So this video, I went undercover in a troubled teen facility. Basically what Ben covers in the first like 15 or so minutes of this is the controversy surrounding this place called Provo Canyon and the allegations that have been made against it. At the point of the video that I'm going to start at, his boy, who's this guy on the left, has just been approved to be like a staff member at Provo Canyon. He had to do some training, which he filmed on hidden camera. And it was basically like he shows that the teacher gave them the answers to the questions. So it was very low standard, you might say. Let me make sure. No audio. Okay. Restart capture. There we go. Y'all can hear that? NPAS says you need to be home. It's important when you're struggling. Yeah, and that's why, like, just mentally, I don't think I'm ready to go. Discord movie nights, Jackbox game nights. I love it. Discord game night has to happen again. Poker or something. Jeff Miller, I did get a beater. I did. The beater. Streamlabs link in the chat. If you want to help offset the cost of the new beater, the insurance. Bomba the insurance, the registration, the new license plate I need, the gas, Bomba.
Yeah, my name's Sheldon. I'm swing shift A, a mental health technician.
Sheldon's gonna be the man for us.
Yeah.
So it's good that we have Sheldon on the inside as an undercover teacher, but at the end of the day, what we're really trying to find out is this place bad for the kids? And the only way to do that is to send in an undercover kid. And then I realized that, yeah, we definitely can't do that. That's super illegal and just like morally messed up. So instead of sending in an undercover kid, I'm going to be an undercover kid.
You cannot go in there, dude. You're going to go to like, it's like 6 felonies.
Yes, there's a couple problems with me checking myself into this place, such as I just turned 30 years old and the oldest kids they accept here are 17. And Sheldon tried talking me out of the idea for 2 whole days.
Dude, do you think they're really going to believe you're 17 though, Ben? I mean, like, don't you think they're going to want like some kind of proof of you being 17?
Sheldon's right. If this place was ethically
He does look like he could be 17.
ran, they would require me at a minimum to provide my birth certificate before accepting me in here. So this is the test. Is Provo Canyon gonna break the law and put a 30-year-old in as a student just because they're money hungry? Or are they gonna follow the law and require that I show proof I'm 17 before accepting me in? I went to the Provo Canyon School website to sign myself up, and right away I saw that I actually can't sign myself up. One of my parents has to do it for me. So I put an ad on Craigslist to see if anyone wanted to play the role as my dad for a super secret project. And no one responded. So not only am I gonna have to be the kid, but I will also be playing the role of my own dad. And I just signed myself up. First, they wanted to know why I was signing my kid, aka myself, up for Provo Canyon.
If your kid has a sexual or gender identity disorders.
I said my 17-year-old son is having what he calls gay thoughts. Submit. I don't know. I just think it's pretty funny that they still accept people.
Also, you guys might recall that in 2022, nobody knows this. I was editing YouTube videos for Chet Hanks, and I think he deleted a bunch of the videos that he had posted, but one of the videos that he posted, which actually got like some media coverage, was a video about his time in sort of one of these program type things. Here, he still has the video up. Let me show it to you. It's called Getting Sent to a Wilderness Program at 17 years old. I actually made the thumbnail for this video and edited this video and made the little like intro graphic here. Like I made this because he was promoting his program. So yeah, he sent me the footage and I edited this and made the thumbnail. And it's a really incredible story. He's like talking about how the people who ran this thing were like abusive and crazy. And he had some other videos too, but he didn't keep them up there. He had like really interesting stories and stuff, but he kept this one up. And I'm glad that I was able to be involved with it and help out with that. So yeah, these things seem to be more common than you might think. Even what's her name, Danielle Bregoli, the Catch Me Outside girl. Apparently after Dr. Phil, I remember reading something that she supposedly, if I recall correctly, went to some program at the behest of Dr. Phil, or like he referred her to this place, and they supposedly didn't treat her well there either. So I'm very surprised by this. And even in this video, Ben talks about how Paris Hilton apparently went here and is very outspoken against this place as well.
People in for being gay when being gay stopped becoming a mental disorder in 1987. Also, conversion therapy is banned in Utah, so it would actually be super legal for them to accept me in because of this. Hello, I would like to sign up my kid for Provo Canyon.
What your kid are kind of struggling with?
Recently,
yeah, Turnabout Ranch.
He's been having some homosexual thoughts. We heard that your school can help with that.
Perfect. And did anyone refer him specifically to residential treatment? Like, is he seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything?
No.
I was just asking because in order to proceed to what we're going to need to do next is kind of review any of his clinical behavior. So if he hasn't been assessed before, that kind of stuff is going to need to happen.
They didn't need a birth certificate or anything?
Not yet, no. She just said I just need a note from a therapist.
And she said homosexual thoughts are a condition to get admitted into a fucking treatment? What are you getting treated for?
My homosexual thoughts. What makes this whole situation even crazier is that literally right after this, I start watching through all the footage and I get to a part in Sheldon's training where they literally tell all of the staff that this is literally a gay-friendly environment.
This is the LGBTQIA+ community. This is gender equality. We're accepting and we're understanding of all gender issues. All right. We treat our kids that are trying to find their identity, figuring out their sexual orientation with respect.
Yeah, it seems like this place isn't against being gay at all. I wonder why they're gonna accept me in for being gay then.
Because they want money.
It seems like they might just accept anyone into this place, as long as they have a doctor or a therapist note. The next step is just get that doctor's note and then call you guys back?
Yeah, I can explain what's kind of going on at home, any behaviors at home, those kind of things.
Dang, dude.
That sounds easy enough.
So I just have to go to a doctor and be like, hey, can you write a diagnosis that my kid has gay thoughts?
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So I Googled conversion therapist. And it turns out there's not many in existence anymore in the United States.
Apologies straight out of BS. I'm not familiar with you yet because I haven't actually seen this full video yet. I'm watching this for the first time. But that's kind of crazy that you're a goon, right? Because I've seen you in the chat before, I'm pretty sure. So, or did you just literally stumble upon this live stream because I'm doing it about the Reckless Ben video? I'm pretty sure you're a goon, right? You've been here before.
But I started calling the few that still do exist. And then I realized that I can't just play my dad and the child at the same time, or else they're definitely going to recognize that it's just the same person playing both roles. And the Craigslist ad to play the role of my dad is still empty. So I got Jordan, the fan that originally told me about this.
Is this you, Jordan?
Idea to play the role of my dad. I got Jordan, the fan that originally told me about this.
This is you.
this idea to play the role of my dad.
Hello, this is Dr. Fry.
Hey, my name's Ron, and I have a son that needs to get into some therapy.
But
expose Ben for keeping QuickTime set to frames instead of timecode. Hilarious.
every single time, even the
Where did you even see that? Where did you even spot that? What the hell? Where the fuck did you even spot that?
So I got Jordan, the fan that originally told
Jordan, shout out.
me about this idea to
Jordan, you need to start posting clips of this like segment of the segments that you're part of on Instagram and YouTube Shorts now.
play the role of my dad.
Hello, this is Dr. Fry.
Hey, my name's Ron, and I have a son that needs to get into some therapy.
But every single time, even the conversion therapists felt bad to send me to this school.
A place called Provo Canyon.
Oh, also for y'all earlier, they were asking what's the whip that I bought. Obviously, I'm not going to say the make and model of the car. You know, there's paid assassins out here trying to get me. You want me to say the make and model of my car, and they know what city I live in, so they can just come on now.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't. I'm in the business of helping people make changes.
The fact that no therapist wants to send me to Provo Canyon School actually makes this place seem more credible to me. It seems like to get sent here, you must have to be a really bad kid. But then Sheldon got done with his first day of work, and when he got home, he told me why a lot of the kids got sent to this school.
All the other kids are just normal. Like one of them's in there for 120 days so far because he used to smoke fucking weed.
That was me. I got sent there for smoking weed.
It seems like a majority of them are just like really annoyed and just completely normal.
This is when I realized maybe it's just hard for me to get sent here because I live in California. The only therapists willing to talk to me are ones with a California license. However, Provo Canyon School is located in Provo, Utah, and according to their own police department, they...
Yeah, Jordan, missiontomonetization.com. If you go to my, here, I'll put the link in the chat. You can watch my free workshop about how to like, it'll give you some ideas about how to leverage this moment and this content, which you absolutely, I command that you must.
They play differently there.
We play differently here.
This is...
Look for a vehicle going haram on the Hyundai. Haram on the Hyundai, the name of my new mixtape.
According to their own police department, they play differently there.
We play differently here.
This is the exact same city that's currently trying to put me in prison for years, all because I tried to get a few Mormons to return Legos they stole. It's weird how all the conversion therapists in California can see this place as a big red flag. But in Utah, therapists seem to be sending patients here all the time, just for like the smallest things. If only I lived in Utah, it'd be super easy for me to get in, but I don't. I live in California. So I'm gonna have to be extra convincing with the next conversion therapist. But luckily for me, someone finally actually replied to my Craigslist ad. So basically, yeah, I'm gonna be playing your son, I guess, and
Okay.
in 5 minutes after meeting my dad, it was time to get on this call.
I want to catch him looking at porn when it involves women. I want that. That would make me feel like that would brighten my life. Fortunately, it was the other way around the other day.
One of the main things which I would recommend is
Hard to miss the only Rolls Royce in Edmonton. Y'all stupid. It's a tuk-tuk, not a car. The Altima is on 2 donuts and has an entire front bumper duct taped with a dead driver, Jesus Christ, side headlight, and trash lying out the backseat. True. That is wild that he's going back to Utah. Check it out. Get started. Regular channel and everything. Yeah, come on now. DaVinci Resolve, dude.
for your son called Reckless Ben to just, I don't know, just do more
Jordan, you can book a call with me too on my website if you want help with this.
community service.
So, I don't know.
I'll literally teach you how to do the reformatting in DaVinci Resolve if you want. It's a free program.
My dad wants to send me to this school that he thinks like help my gay thoughts and stuff.
What's this school called?
Provo, Wait, son, what is it again?
Provo Canyon.
Yes.
They had a high ropes course that looked kind of cool.
You can't be gay rock climbing. They just want to help, and we need your signature. We need your recommendation for that to happen.
And I would love to make that recommendation, but it's something I can't do.
Yeah, even with the professional actor, we couldn't convince this guy to recommend me for Provo Canyon. But this guy from Craigslist is a professional. He was not gonna take no for an answer.
The decision that I've made is that I do want to send him to Provo. I need you to see that I am in pain, that we are in turmoil in our home. And we can't fix it. There's an entity out there that can help us. You're a good man and you do good things, and this is a blessing that you have this gift to do this. I'm begging you.
I think your dad will never let this go, so why don't you go for like 2 months just to just convince him and just get out.
So, my therapist wrote up a letter of recommendation.
Oh, he made a document and signed it. Yeah! Sexual identity confusion, which has been described as unwanted. We might actually get accepted.
I cannot believe you guys just badgered him into signing it. So they're gonna let you in for having homosexual thoughts.
I guess so. After we submitted all the paperwork from the licensed therapist, they gave us a packet of how awesome the school is.
This is insane. The level of effort that Ben goes to in these investigations is so admirable. Like, I've done this a couple of times for videos, like this level of effort, and I'll tell you, it's actually, that's not even fair. This guy's going like way more effort. Like, I can't imagine how much time this takes, and also the risk, and like he probably has to take, like, at each step do like check in with a lawyer, and it's probably a whole thing and a half. So big shout out to him. L'Real Plain Jane, what up? Glad you're here. Jeff Miller, what up? Critter, what's up, Critter? Hope you're doing good, Chris. Listening on my way home from the gym. Yes, get it. Yeah.
It's going to be for me when I arrive. There's a swimming pool. There's a high ropes course. This place looks like a summer camp. Also in the packet, there's a daily schedule for what
Also, you can't be gay and rock climb is hilarious. What do you mean by that?
I'll be doing. There's actually some pretty interesting things in it. This place is kind of expensive, about $1,500 per day. But if this place promises to turn bad kids into good kids, and the kids can have a bunch of fun while doing it, for a lot of families, the price is worth it. However, Sheldon has been working here for a few days now, and he says the reality of what's happening is just a tiny bit different than what's been advertised.
There's no high rope course, there's no pool.
But on my schedule, it says that there is a pool. It says there's a high ropes course, and there's like physical activity time. And
is never. I have that on audio too. The manager said it's never getting reopened.
Swimming pool. Right now, it's just our big hole in the ground, no water in it. There's a crack.
This expired in fucking June, and this is what they were giving kids. They said they got unlimited Thanksgiving dinner, and you know what they got for dinner?
What?
2 frozen Uncrustables.
Dude, this is like the Fire Festival of rehab places. What up, NWOK Park Ranger? Also, Critter, I forgot to mention, I kept meaning to tell you this, but if you're posting content on TikTok and you're making, it's vertical format, you should also post it. I shouldn't say should, this is just a suggestion. You can also post the same videos on YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels because it's formatted the same. Like, you can post it everywhere. And that's something I do. And sometimes a post that does good on TikTok might not do good on Instagram, but sometimes it flops on TikTok and it does good on Instagram, or vice versa. I have videos that did like 30K views on TikTok and it did 2 million views on YouTube, and it's the exact same piece of content, same caption, everything. You're just taking advantage of all the different algorithms that are out there. So yes, it takes an extra 30 seconds to go to the other app and click upload again and post it again, but I think it's completely worth it. So I just wanted to shout that out as a piece of advice, because I know you're on your content creation journey now.
Okay, so the food could definitely use some improvement, but at least they get a good education, right? Well, they never taught Sheldon how to teach. All the teachers Sheldon shadowed were just playing brain rot TikToks for the kids.
And Paz said, I heard they let Legend Gaming in with no problems. That's so funny. Legend started Provo for real. Hilarious.
All they do is watch brain rot. Like, that's all they do.
So yeah, it looks like this is what your kids are going to be learning if you send your kids to Provo Canyon School. After reading through my packet, Sheldon said basically everything they're advertising to me is a lie. So they go to bed at 9 p.m.?
Wow.
They go to bed way earlier than that. Dude puts them to bed at 7:30, bro.
Really? Because
I swear to God.
8 p.m.
I have it on audio. He's like, I just put him to bed at 7:30 because I don't want to deal with him that much longer.
What, he said that?
Yeah, he was smiling. He thought it was funny.
So
hold up, Jordan Cole Comedy, who you might know from a now deleted video because of legal threats, but Jordan Cole Comedy says, glad you're covering this, dude. I went to Cross Creek Center in Utah when I was 16. Everything in this is very, very real. Wow, so this is a way bigger phenomenon than people, like way more people can relate to this than I even expected. Thumbs up the ting, by the way, y'all.
They have physical time from 3:30 to 4:30?
See, that's the thing. It's so stupid it's giving you a schedule like that. They just lie.
But false advertising doesn't seem to be the only problem, because I guess they just hire anyone. It seems like all the people who are supposed to be trained professionals have no clue what they're doing.
Today, the nurse in my class was arguing with me. I got on a video, like, he's arguing with me that you can't overdose on Tylenol. So he needs to know that is actually, like, really bad that he thinks you cannot overdose on Tylenol. Like, what an overdose is, you took too much of it, over the dose. It's 2 words.
But anyways, the last thing I have to do before I'm accepted in as an official student is I have to do one more interview with my dad to make sure we're a good fit. And Sheldon was getting a little bit worried that I wasn't gonna be able to make it in as a student.
Yeah, I mean, what would suck is if you didn't get in, and I've just been stuck here.
So, to make me seem like the most rebellious kid in the entire world, I dyed my hair red.
You can see he has red hair. He does not have red hair. He has black hair. He's Caucasian. But he dyed it red. It was just a few days ago.
Ben, do you want to say anything?
First off, he said my hair was red, but it's clearly orange. As you can see, it was like you can see, it's like he doesn't even like respect me. You know, it's like.
After this interview, Provo Canyon said they'd get back to me in a week. The only problem is this place is getting really depressing for Sheldon. He doesn't even know if he can last another day inside this place.
What if I just fly up tomorrow, dude?
That would be fucking awesome. This sucks.
Yeah, I'll just fly up tomorrow and we'll just figure it out. I'll just show up to the school and I'll be like, hey, accept me, dude. And they'll just accept me or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, let's do it, I guess. It's not gonna work.
But the next morning, before my flight, Sheldon called me with some devastating news.
I just got fired.
Really?
Dear applicant, Health and Human Services, Office of Background Processing, completed your background check. Because of these findings, you're not eligible to have direct access to children and or vulnerable adults.
That's crazy that they still let you work there even before doing the background search.
Oh my god. The HR manager said it was a rough situation and no one has talked about dismissing you.
Dang.
I'm not fired. Normally you fail the background check, you're fired. I mean...
Wow, so the background check came back as, like, declined. Like, you're not eligible. But then the school is just like, nah, you're good, you're good. Wow.
Normally you don't start.
Yeah, Ben is at war with the entire state of Utah. Next video is going to be him beefing with Mitt Romney.
The background check comes back good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's so weird they just put you on.
So even though Provo Canyon found out Sheldon wasn't allowed to work with kids, they just let him keep working anyways, which is super illegal. If someone happened to put all of this evidence in a YouTube video and released it for the entire world to see, I mean, this could completely shut the school down.
They have now sunk their ship through their own greed. Because they wouldn't need to keep me right now if they paid a decent wage. They would have enough workers.
If Provo Canyon School is too money hungry to fire Sheldon, then maybe they're too money hungry to do a background check on me, and they'll just blindly accept me in as a 30-year-old. So I ended up getting on my plane flight and flew all the way to Provo, Utah.
Bro, after how genuine I've been, they're gonna have trust issues for the rest of their lives after this.
Okay. But now I have to solve a problem that I've been putting off this entire time. Money.
We have a public rate of $1,500
Streamlabs link in the chat.
per day.
Yeah, it doesn't help that literally every single video series I've ever put on YouTube has either been demonetized or completely removed.
My last video got taken down, incorrectly taken down. Shadow ban me. YouTube keeps taking down all my videos.
You guys have no idea how demoralizing and heartbreaking it is, because I relate to this so deeply. All of my videos that I spent the most time and effort on have all been subject to some sort of like privacy complaint, YouTube legal complaint, actual legal complaint, lawsuit, etc. And it's like, imagine at your job, you put so much work into something and you didn't do anything wrong. And then it was just like, actually, this doesn't count. Never mind. You know? It's so sad. And so this is another reason why Reckless Ben is such a huge inspiration to me, because it's like he continues going.
Yeah, there's 3 of my videos. Right now, I'm 100% censored.
Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, at the time of filming this, I had a little over $2,000 in my bank account.
And mind you, this came out, like, we don't know when he filmed this, but let's assume that he was filming it after the Bricks and Minifigs thing, because it's coming out after the Bricks and Minifigs thing, so I'm assuming it's chronological. The fact that he got, let's just do a quick maths right here, if you don't mind. Go to Reckless Ben channel, okay? His most recent videos, okay? Let's look. Lego, okay, all just within the Lego series. 7 million, 8, 9 million, 10, 11, 12 million, 17 million. I'm doing a tally. 21 million, 26 million, 31 million. 33 million, 40 million, 45 million, 45 million views approximately just across these 1, 2, 5, 8, 9, 10 videos, okay? Never mind what he got on TikTok, on Instagram, etc. and he has $2,800 in his bank account. It's staggering. It's mind-boggling. It's insane. You know? Happiness Handmade says, I don't understand how Patreon kept Ben but didn't fight for you. I know you can't talk about it. Well, I mean it when I say, like, the shit that I'm dealing with is like, if and when you ever are able to find out about it, you will literally be like, no, that's not possible. You'll literally be, your first instinct is going to be confusion, and you're going to think that I'm somehow misunderstanding and relaying the information to you, or that I'm lying or embellishing, because you're literally going to be like, surely they can't do that. That's literally what you're going to think. And this is what I've realized. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And they will. Literally, and people, I've heard it all. People be like, well, why don't you just, nope. I can't, because they'll get that too. Nope, I can't. They'll take that too. Well, could they? Yes, they can. So yeah, it's just fucking insane. NPAS says, I wish I could provide encouragement and say the right things happen at the end of the day. I don't know that anymore. Shit's unfair. Yeah, I don't know that either. Like, I understand now why Robert Fitzpatrick was like, I don't even bother with the FTC anymore. I was like, no, you're just, you're being a curmudgeon. You're being a Scrooge. You didn't have the internet. Now we can start a grassroots movement and blah, blah, blah. Do you realize there's probably been billions of views exposing Israel for its genocide over the past 3 years, and they're still going. People still defend it. That was the biggest, wake up call that made me feel so powerless, when I saw that billions of people had, not even, it wasn't even up to debate or interpretation. It was like, without question, obviously, yes, they've fully exposed them. They got them. Israel is doing this, and it's bad because of this. And despite that, people still defend it. And it's like, even just this past week, Andrew Callahan, Channel 5, he released or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, he released a video about, I have this saved to my watch later here. Let me pull it up so I can actually say what it was called. And this isn't the first one he's done about it, by the way. He has one called Occupied Palestine 11 days ago, has 1 million views. He has another one that he put out called Interview with Palestinian General 1 day ago, almost 600,000 views. Professor Dave has a video from 3 weeks ago called Destiny Loves Genocide, where he's talking about the streamer Destiny defending Israel. 1 million views. Destroying every Zionist talking point. 500,000 views 1 year ago. Like the Louis Theroux video, the Settlers documentary, the No Other Land documentary. It's like, again, never mind all the reels, never mind all the TikToks, never mind all the YouTube videos, never mind all the, what's the other guy who recently put out the series? I forget his name, but he's a YouTuber who did a whole series about going into Israel and Palestine and making videos showing what it was like. All those had millions, and still. So yeah, seeing stuff like this, or, seeing my own situation, it's another thing where I'm like, it's almost a hopelessness, I don't know. What do I think of YouTube changing the minimum hours for monetization from 4,000 to 8,000 hours? I don't know why they're doing that. If I had to guess, it's to try to gate out AI slop channels. But how is that really going to change it? AI slop channels, if it's AI videos and they're pumping out endless content that gets views, aren't they going to pass the 8,000 hours just as easily as they did the 4,000? I don't understand that. I really don't understand. Yeah, you guys need to lock in and get on it. The gates are, me and my friend used to have a saying, the gates are closing. After the adpocalypse, we said the gates are closing. After YouTube Shorts became a thing, and it was so easy to get subscribers and blow up because of Shorts, me and him said the gates are closing. Meaning it's harder to compete. The ad rate goes down, the gates are closing. The monetization policy becomes stricter, the gates are closing. AI slop content is here, the gates are closing. You know, YouTube is putting more ads in the videos, making it a less enjoyable experience. The gates are closing, you know? You know, on and on. So, yeah, definitely go for it now because it's only going to get harder. So go for it now if you're considering it. And I have a whole free 1.5 hour long workshop on missiontomonetization.com teaching you everything I've learned in the last 7 years of being a full-time content creator. So go check it, you know. Free Palestine indeed, Nate. Yeah. I'm documenting my build for Marco right now. Fuck yeah. The West Bank. Make sure y'all like the stream to let people know we're live. It actually helps, and it's free. Thank you, Spec. So true. Wasted sound effect from GTA. True. Oh, rewind to the email where dude got fired. I think it's from November. Okay, so maybe he filmed this and it's old. You know. Yes, I did have a thing with Patreon, Nate, but good news is you can join alwaysmarco.vip for as little as $5 a month, and it's actually better for me. So,
and with the price of $1,500 per day, I can't even be in here for 2 days. But here's the really bad news.
You have to pay one tuition in advance throughout your child's stay, so you'll also be paying for January. So due today at time of admission, it's going to be $49,400.
Dang, dude. We can't spend $49,000 on this.
On a deposit? Yeah.
Can you believe it's that fucking expensive, dude?
I definitely don't have that type of money for 1 month.
Spending $50K for your kid to go get abused for a month is hilarious. It's not, but you get me.
$49,000.
We'll need a whole 2 months paid in advance to let you in.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem. There's not a chance in the world that I'm finding this type of money anytime soon, but I already flew out here, so I have to think of a plan of how to trick them into letting me in. It's gonna work, don't worry. We'll figure this out. If I truly was money hungry, I would wait the day to get the $49,000. And that's the...
NPaz says, should I cancel my YouTube membership? It's totally up to you. Alwaysmarco.vip. I mean, I started it even after the YouTube memberships were a thing. So, you know, up to you. I personally like alwaysmarco.vip better.
Plan. I give them a fake credit card, so it definitely declines. I'll tell them that, hey, you guys should just let me in, and if you guys can wait just 2 business days, my bank will approve it.
Okay, so let's start with the first credit card, $49,400. And how much do you want to put on this card?
Everything. There's definitely enough money.
It declined.
It declined?
Yeah, probably because it's so big.
Okay, I'll give them a call right now. So I had a fake conversation with my bank to learn that there was fraud put on this fake credit card.
Hi,
I just called my bank. It came up as fraud, actually.
Yeah.
Right when the 48 hours is up, I can just send it right then. They said I'll get it within 48 hours, and they did say they'll approve the purchase.
He's actually smart for this because if he can finesse them into giving him even just 2 days and he can squeeze 2 days of content, like of filming there, that'll still probably be enough to get like an idea of what's going on in there. So he's a genius for this.
And the money's there.
Yeah, I know. I believe that because it's, like I said, it happens all the time. But unfortunately, I can't approve an admission unless I have to try out the funds intact.
Yeah, they still said they can't accept me in until they receive the payment. So I'm going to add some extra pressure. I told them that I'm leaving on a work trip to an uninhabited island with no cell phone service. So they have to accept me in now or they'll never get me as a student to their school. I actually leave for a work trip today, so it has to be today or else I don't know how I'm going to get in there.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. Let me
Wow. Social engineering at its finest.
figure it out for you. Hold on.
Of course they're going to take it, right? You want my money.
Yeah, they ain't calling back, bro. I'm telling you, there's like a...
They're calling back. You said they weren't calling back. They're calling back. Hello?
I'm going to go ahead and approve the admission
Wow, Bomba.
for tonight.
How does everything you do work? This wouldn't work for anybody else on the entire planet.
She's available at 3:30 if you guys could be down here by 3:30 to start his admin process.
Okay. It's 1:36 right now. We have till 3. We have like an
I mean, look, even if the money doesn't come through, the maybe of getting 50 grand from a one prospective student is worth, yeah, plus 10 luck for real, is worth it to them, right? So yeah, it makes total sense. What do they really lose? What do they really lose if he goes there for 2 days and then they have to kick him out? A couple of Slim Jims?
hour to figure this all out. How are we going to get the spy cameras in? Yeah, we probably should have figured this out sooner, but we definitely can't use the spy pens Sheldon's been using because they don't let students use pens here.
Pen, scissors, pencils. They are not allowed pens. They are not allowed scissors. They are allowed golf pencils.
The only spy camera we thought would work was the spy camera button. There's only one problem. I remember Sheldon telling me that if I go in with spy cameras, I'm definitely getting busted.
They're gonna notice you having spy cameras, bro. You can't even shower without them standing 10 feet away.
So I thought the best place to hide the spy camera would be to make a hole in my shoe. But Sheldon was very adamant that even if I put the spy cameras in my shoe, they're still gonna find it.
It's crazy. It is literally like a Supermax fucking prison, dude. They strip search you, they search everything.
At this point, I would just keister it, like, honestly, like, literally.
Yeah, they lose 2 frozen Uncrustables, exactly.
Like, they're still gonna wand me down, it's still gonna go off.
We were running out of time until I had to go in, so we just had to make up an idea on the spy of how to get me cameras in after I get strip searched. Here's the plan of what we came up with.
Put it in your ass.
It's not the best idea, but it is an idea. We open a bag of chips, put the cameras inside the chips, vacuum seal the chips shut, and mix it in with a bunch of other chips so they blend in, and then Sheldon will just go around the building handing out chips to all the kids, and hopefully he hands me the bag with the cameras inside, and that's the plan.
You could use a Sharpie to like mark one of the bags.
I guess day one.
Are you interested in some Lego on credit, right?
I'm not gonna have any video.
Hold on. New membership alert for alwaysmarco.vip. Let's go. I'm not gonna say who it is, but y'all know who it is. Thank you guys. Thank you. Alwaysmarco.vip. I love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Thank you so much.
Have to like recap what happens in like a story or something, I guess. And then day 2, I will hopefully have a camera if the chips work. This is so stressful. Okay. Hey, see Sheldon?
You Ben, dude.
Oh, okay. Now that Sheldon's gone, I'm actually starting to get pretty nervous. I was getting nervous to go inside. I remember Sheldon explaining to me how hard it would be to escape.
That wall, huge, super hard to jump.
How tall is it?
Probably 12 or 13 feet without a single grip. You're not going to be able to escape. It's going to be like really hard.
And if I can't escape, I'm going to be forced to pay for a month of this place, which I definitely can't afford that. And if I attempt to escape and get caught, there's going to be really bad consequences for me.
If you try and run, they shut down the entire facility. Everybody's on what they call Cat 5 silence. There's no escaping. There's no escaping. There's maybe the illusion of escape that you can create in your mind, but there's no physical escape. People have tried. They've regretted it. They go straight to intervention, which is solitary confinement. There's no way to escape.
Yeah. Provo Canyon literally has a room.
Okay, but if Ben gets caught, can he say, I'm actually Reckless Ben, I'm a YouTuber, I'm 30 years old, I'm just in here as an experiment, and if they find out you let me, oh, and I'm not paying, if they find out you let me in here for no money and I'm over the age that is allowed, you're going to get in trouble, so just let me out, right? I don't know, maybe?
I'm specifically designed for kids that don't follow the rules. If you go into his spy camera footage, this is what the boss had to say about this place.
They don't even go to class, they just stay in stupid.
Yeah, I know, that's fine. Not very vulnerable. Yeah.
But,
They don't go out, they don't go
yeah, but when they want to act the way they do, that's what they get.
Yeah.
On Sheldon's very first day of being a mental health professional, one of the kids actually tried to escape.
A kid escaped, and then right as I was leaving, I was about to FaceTime you, the cop rolled up, and she's like, I got in the back. Yeah, now he gets put in the gulag for 2 months.
For 2 months?
Yeah, I got it all.
So his parents are paying $100K to keep him in there for 2 months? What? In solitary?
The audio today is crazy, dude.
There's one kid who ran away from police coming back. He was in there for like 2 months, I swear.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We can't talk to anyone for 2 months.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But as Sheldon kept working, he saw more reasons why kids were getting sent to this room.
Locked a kid in solitary for stealing a bag of chips.
How long do you think he'll be in there? Till he admits? Or?
A week. Usually.
Yeah, okay.
If he behaves, it'll be a week. If he continues to be a dumbass, it'll be longer.
Dang. He stole chips? He's screwed, huh? Wow.
The part that really sucks about this for me is how am I going to investigate this place? If I ask a single question they don't like, they're going to throw me into solitary confinement. But I was running out of time. And the time ran out. I couldn't film it, but I checked myself in to Provo Canyon School.
Wow.
Yo, what up, everyone? We're about to check to make sure we got the footage of Ben, because I don't think anyone's going to believe that this actually worked. Oh my god.
Interesting. Provo PD subpoenaed Ben's entire Google Drive and all his raw video during the BAM saga, Bricks and Minifigs saga, so Provo probably had some idea about this story coming. Interesting.
We fucking did it, boys. We got Ben in there. This is insane. Like, this is actually literally, like, sounds like something someone made up. I am so nervous. Brought chips for everyone. Oh, did you? Yeah.
Sheldon spent the entire day roaming the halls of Provo Canyon trying to find me. And finally, he found me.
Oh, hey, I get chips out to everybody because you. You're on Aldo, right? Yeah. Yeah, sick. Cool.
Where are you guys? Are you?
Well, I was actually, yeah, no, I'm not Aldo. I was actually.
But right after he gave me these chips, he heard over his radio that they called in a search to find contraband materials on my unit.
Wow. Put the camera in your ass, Ben.
I heard him call a unit search right after I gave him the chips. I'm like, damn it.
So I have this buy camera button, but I don't have this red jacket I'm wearing right here.
And they believe that he's 17, which is insane.
With the button gun anymore, because I guess when they strip searched me, they took it to look for contraband materials.
Ooh.
And they just forgot to give it back. So this entire time I've been asking for it back, and they never give it to me for some reason.
They said it was supposed to be yesterday, and they still haven't got it yet.
And she's not here?
I guess not. They keep saying it's supposed to be yesterday, and they kept saying, oh, it'll be done by 9 a.m. today. It'll be done.
Butterfly Kenzo says the ultra rich will pay anything to fix kids who don't conform to parental standards. It's sickening. Instead of trying to learn about your kid and listen, they'll pay to force kids to conform. It's crazy.
By noon today. It'll be done by 3 p.m. today. And,
I'll go and talk to someone and see what we can do.
But before the teacher could give me my shirt, they did a check on my room for unauthorized contraband. They made all of us fold our pockets inside out. But little did they know, I had 2 pairs of pants on, and the spy button was actually inside my inside pair of pants pockets. So I spent the rest of the day.
It's so simple and so beautiful. Like the most genius things are usually the most simple, right? What is that called? Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the correct one. Like, what is Ben doing? Oh, we can't afford $50,000 for the admission. Why don't we just lie and say that we'll pay it later and that my bank, like, okay, sure. Oh, the maximum age is 17 and I'm 30. We'll just say that I'm 17. Oh, they're going to search me. I'll just wear 2 pairs of pants. It's like, it's literally, there's no budget. It's literally like a zero cost infiltration, which is another reason why this is something I respect so much. So for me, people have asked me with regards to my MLM infiltration videos, they've been like, why don't you just pay to join and see how far you can make it? And but I, on principle, refuse to spend a single dollar to an MLM. And thus far, I've been successful in doing that. Like, I've never spent a single penny. Even right now, should I give you guys a little sneak peek about this? So even right now, the new like infiltrating a pyramid scheme video I'm working on, one of the things is I want to try the products that the company has, and they're really expensive. And so I found one distributor who lives in my city who I asked, I kept sort of like being on the fence about if I was going to join or not, to the point that they were like, okay, well, I'll give you some samples. And then I literally, like, they left the samples hidden inside like a planter on their front porch. And I went to their house and got the samples. So I actually was able to get the products for free. So just things like that, you know, I love that.
Filming inside my pocket because they still didn't give me my shirt back, but eventually they let us have a small break outside.
All right, so here's the deal. I want everyone to do some sort of, or the physical activity. Don't sit in there and just look at the sun or let the sun look at you. I'm not fucking around. Just pace, Ben. Just pace around. Go pick up a basketball, dribble it around. Not because I think you're overweight, because I want you to waste your energy so I don't have to deal with your goddamn hyperactivity. You understand that?
So I picked up a basketball and airballed it so hard it landed on the other side of the fence. The fence had mesh on it, so I couldn't hop it. So I climbed this little basketball hoop right here and hopped all the way to the other side.
Wow.
I'm getting the ball. I'm getting the ball.
Oh, no way. Oh my God.
I ran through random backyards and houses.
Oh my God, no way.
Eventually, I made it to the city where
Also, this is something that, like, again, this is why going to the gym is so important. If you guys don't know, Reckless Ben is also a slackliner, which is a very, like, balance heavy and, you know, you need to be really athletic. You need to be really athletic to slackline. It's like balancing on a fabric line strung up between like 2 trees, for example. And that's what Reckless Ben does. He's like if I understand correctly, he's a professional slackliner. And so he does slacklining. And if he wasn't fit, like if he was a fat guy trying to do this video, he wouldn't have been able to climb the basketball net or the basketball hoop and then jump over the fence. Like, he just simply wouldn't have been able to.
Went into a random restaurant and hid in their bathroom.
Wow.
When the coast was clear, I borrowed an employee's phone to text Sheldon and told him to come pick me up.
What a fucking genius. So he must have also had to memorize Sheldon's phone number because I'm assuming he didn't have a phone on him. Well, he didn't.
He did it! Yeah! Oh, yeah. I was so worried about you. We made it. Yeah!
While we were waiting for my 5-star level to cool down a little bit, I decided to recap what went on inside.
Yeah, I was in the gulag for the first day and a half. Yeah, that had to suck. Yeah, I was in there for like 30 hours.
But finally, after 30 hours of solitary confinement, just so they could get rid of my gay thoughts, they finally thought it was safe to put me in a classroom. The only problem is we didn't learn anything. The teacher pulled me to the side and told me that this is what school was going to be like for me.
School over here is going to be kind of... It's going to be kind of demeaning, embarrassing, so... Really?
Yeah, we didn't learn a single thing. Basically, the entire day was just us sitting in a room and the teacher threatening us of how bad it was going to be for us if we misbehaved.
I don't have the patience to talk to people. I would just restrain people.
The crazy thing is none of the kids were even misbehaving. The teacher just was getting some type of power trip from telling all the kids how bad it was about to be for all of us.
Gave you the samples? Boom, true.
Was diagnosed with anxiety. Yeah, the anxiety, it'll kick in. He breathed the wrong way. He's on your ass. He will sit right next to you, and he will whisper things to you,
The fence had anti-climb meshing. Yeah, what a legend. And they keep all the kids malnourished and sleep deprived, so even if they were in shape, they have no energy to escape. Then the town and police are... Interesting commonality between like cults, MLMs, abusive places like this is that they use malnourishment and sleep deprivation. Like in MLMs, not so much the malnourishment with MLMs, but the sleep deprivation, absolutely.
That you would go ahead and just make you realize that you are in a different environment. He would sit down and just tell you things in the ears, and then you would listen to those things and understand that you're in a different environment now. He will flip, legitimately flip out.
It's not like we were busy doing something. It's not like we were misbehaving. He was literally just trying to power trip us. So I went 17 hours without peeing, right? And then we get back, and the first thing he says is like, I don't want anyone to ask me if you can use the bathroom. And I'm like, shoot, I want to ask to use the bathroom so bad, but I know he's going to blow up on me if I ask to use the bathroom.
But finally, it's 7 p.m. I guess this guy got tired of verbally torturing us and told us to go to bed without learning a single thing in school.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go to bed. Stay in your bed. Keep your mouth shut.
And after 13 hours of sleep, this is my alarm.
All right, everyone, shut up and line up. Shut the doors. I want to see any doors open in the room. There's no one in there.
Did you tell everyone we were there for gay?
Stanford prison experiment type shit. Insane.
I was like, my dad sent me here because he thinks I'm gay because I've never had a girlfriend before. He's like, that sucks that you're here, but like, we just had someone else that was here. His dad sent him here because he's like super Christian. I guess he was gay or something. He sent him here, and he's like, what you're going through is like not unusual. Wow, do you have that on audio? Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you, what did they send you here for? You don't have any like friends that are girls, so I think he thought I was gay, maybe. Huh? Really? Okay, well, I don't really care. No one in here cares. Everyone here is equal, sucks equally. I had a kid at Hillsville from California. Exactly the same issue. Parents were Christians. They had a Christian school from California.
As we were having this conversation, we were passing the high ropes course.
We did the high ropes course? What was that? We did the high ropes course? No. They haven't used that since the 80s. Really? Yeah. Wait, why is it here if we can't do it? Attitude. Attitude? No, that's a nice pool though, huh? I haven't seen it yet. It's the indoor pool or the outdoor pool. Oh, can we go there after this? Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. How does the pool not work? Because there's a crack at the bottom of the base. Did they fix it? That's been broken for a couple of years now. Why didn't they fix it? Because it costs, I think they said it was going to cost like $50,000.
50,000
one day for like 30 kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're never going to fix it. Really? Why not? Why? They'd rather just spend like cheap money.
Wow. Dude, wow. Very good point, Alex. Interesting. Weird that Utah is the MLM capital and where all these crazy schools are. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens when a kid escapes?
The cops are out looking for him.
Wait, the cops are looking for me right now?
Yeah.
Am I like an Amber Alert?
Yeah. They said 10-11 at a high school for a possible runaway.
What's that? Was it 10-11?
I have no idea.
Anyways, I ended up just flying home, and now I'm back in Los Angeles. And 2 days later, they called the dad version of me saying they had a very important update, and I had to call them back immediately.
Wow, I'm nervous for him. Utah has... The schools are worldwide, wow.
She said that it's very important that I call you guys right now. What's going on?
I ran your credit card now, and it's declined twice again. So we need to get something worked out today, as I told you before. If you want to call your bank and have them see what the issue is, but it is declining.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, I no wonder Lydia told me to call. This is a very important problem.
But a few hours later, they finally thought it was a good idea to tell the dad version of me that the kid version of me was missing.
These slimy fuckers. They wanted to make sure they got his money, and then they wanted to make sure they got his $50K, and then tell him, by the way, the thing that you just paid for actually is not even applicable because your kid ran away. Wow.
And jumped the fence and escaped.
You're correct, Lisa. They're not qualified. Earlier, they show how Sheldon got approved to become a teacher there. Obviously, doesn't pass the background check, and the training was like pitiful.
And we're still trying to find him. He kicked the ball over the fence, I guess, and then climbed over the fence and ran. So I think they did chase after him. They were unable to find him. So I know the police have been notified. So they are looking for him.
Well, he actually, I got called from an unknown number earlier today. It was actually Ben, and he talked to me. He did say he would come back, but he gave me a list of demands, I guess, and he said once you complete these list of demands, he'll come back.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yes, my plan is to blackmail them with bad press that they lost one of their kids. And the only way they can get this bad press to end is by improving their facility for the rest of the kids.
The first one was, he said, fix the high ropes course. The second one, he said, fix the pool. The next one, he said, just feed them like edible food. It doesn't have to be good, just it has to be edible. The next request was, he actually wants to learn some stuff. If it's a school he wants to learn. He would not like the kids to be in solitary confinement was his last request.
Oh, some of them have to be.
Ben said there was one kid who stole a bag of chips, and he was going to be in solitary confinement for 2 weeks.
Oh, I don't know.
And he said if you guys can complete those list of demands, he said he'll actually come back.
And for every day they don't do these lists of demands, it's every day that they now have a missing student. It looks like Provo Canyon now has a very big decision to make. Do they improve their facility, or do they risk getting shut down?
I know the pool is in the park, so they need a lifeguard. So the pool will be up and running. I don't think it's full of water currently, so I think we don't have a lifeguard. So I think that's been our hang up with the pool.
Such a fucking lie.
I think the golf course is functioning. Food, Provo Canyon's very average.
Well, it seems like Provo Canyon's going to choose to improve their facility.
The pool is supposed to be up and going as soon as we get somebody certified and lifeguarding.
But I wanted to add urgency to get these demands done as fast as possible.
I'm just worried about my son. Do you think, because I'm worried he's going to die out there, do you think you could get the pool rebuilt fast? That way I don't have to worry my son's going to die?
I can definitely work on that. I can call over there and see what there's.
What a legend. Hasn't paid a penny and is in a position where not only has he got his fake kid, aka himself, in there, but is now also making, like, leveraging supposed bad press, which is a ruse because it's unavoidable, the bad press they're going to get anyways, because all of this is for a video anyways, and is now making demand. He's such a legend. Reckless Ben is such a legend.
Status is on the pool. We can DoorDash food, so we can get food sent to him if you want to twice a week, so he has like normal good food.
Well, I don't think he just wants it for him. I think he wants it for all of the kids.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that then. That's very nice of him.
Dude, they might actually meet the list of demands. That'd be sick.
So the next day, they called back.
I don't know when the pool will be fixed, I guess. And I don't know if, I guess they're working on it. It's like a bigger construction problem.
He said he's not going to show his face again until we meet those listed demands. So I was wondering, is there any way that maybe I can talk to the CEO or anything and I can help you guys get these listed demands met faster? Or because I just really want to see my son again.
Yeah, no, me too.
I was getting worried that Provo Canyon was going to claim that these listed demands are too hard for them to do. But I'm prepared because I've already done all the math on this company.
How many kids do you think are in Provo Canyon?
256.
So that times 365 days of the year, that's $91 million a year. Do you think it costs $91 million a year to run this place?
No, they pay us 17 an hour. They could pay like 40 an hour.
How much staff is working there?
With teachers and everything, I'd say like max 50. I mean, probably closer to like 35.
With this calculation, I'll estimate all the employees cost about $5 million a year, leaving the CEO with about $86 million left over.
So where's all the money going?
It's a for-profit company. It's going in the owner's pocket.
So this guy, Tim Marshall, is the CEO of Provo Canyon School. And from my research, it looks like he doesn't really do anything to help the facility. It says basically his only job now is he's a spokesperson, and he argues with the government to keep this place open. Basically, in the grand scheme of things, my listed demands are going to cost him basically nothing, but it will really, really help the kids out. But the thing is if the school doesn't want to take my advice, then a story could leak that they lost a kid, and that could shut down the school. So I'm going to call them again and see if they're ready to improve their facility.
I'm sorry, but the person you called...
No fucking way.
And they didn't answer. So I called again.
Jeff Miller says Luigi had it right. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm still calling about my missing son. Just wondering if you guys have any updates. If you have any updates at all, like just literally any updates. If you guys can just let me know any updates, even if you haven't found him, I'd literally just love to know any update if you could just get back to me. It kind of seems like you're blocking me, which kind of sucks, but yeah, if you can just like call me back, that'd be great. So the lesson here is if you're a parent sending your kid to Provo Canyon and your kid escapes,
instead of looking for your kid and trying to help out the parent, they're just gonna block the parent. They'll just block you.
But after a couple months, they finally answered.
This is Sherry.
Hello, I'm just calling to see if you guys were able to find my son.
Okay, and we're calling on a balance on the account?
Well, I'm calling because I guess you guys lost my son, and I was just wondering if you ever returned.
So yeah, there's just a balance on the account. Did you want to take care of that today?
Is she a fucking robot?
Well, is it okay if I ask about my son first, and then we can figure out all the money stuff, or?
So I tried calling again.
He was in there for only 2 days, and then he escaped. And so I was wondering if you guys have any information on where he's at.
I don't know who you're talking about. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't have any information for you.
They gave up on finding me.
Oh my.
Dang. Well, that sucks. So I'll just be lost forever, and no one cares.
Just because they gave up doesn't mean I'm giving up. I went all the way back to Utah and found some random people in Utah that said they were down to help with the video.
Maybe you could just be like, yo, I met him up on the mountains or something. I'm a mountain person also. Yeah, you could pretend to be a mountain person and be like, we're both mountain people. Don't leave unless there's proof that there's actually, they're gonna do those listed demands.
Yeah.
Be like, we're running out of food up in the mountains. We can't survive much longer.
Hi, how's it going? My friend, I gotta get him to come back here, but he doesn't want to come back. Like,
What's your friend's name?
Ben.
I'm Joe, pretty much leaving a lot of food up there.
He's not contributing anything. He was just like, I'm not going back till they fix this and this and this and this.
Got it. So...
I hate to leave this on a cliffhanger,
She's
but
like, so
if you want to see what happens next, then come back for part 2. Also, if you enjoyed the video, then subscribe to Patreon for a ton of more behind-the-scenes stuff. The 4th LEGO video is still coming out soon.
I don't think there was a part 2 because... Suspense. Ben released a video. Let me find it. Let me pull it up. Ben released a video only 2 days ago called on his backup channel, Ben Schneider, called Provo Canyon Shut Down. So here, let's finish this first.
Provo Canyon School just officially closed.
Trick's perfect before I release it. Huge shout out to Sheldon for working in this place for a full month, and shout out to Jordan for giving me this idea.
No way. There you are, Jordan. Fuck, dude. You got a shout out on the channel. Bro, straight out. By the way, did Jordan answer my earlier question about if he's a goon? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen him in the chats before. You had 1.16 followers on this screenshot, and I'm looking at your channel right now. You have 1.24. So you've only gained 800. Not even. You've gained 180 subscribers. That's not enough, brother. We need to get this up. We need to get this up. Get some clips going.
And if you have a mystery that you need solved, or like a crazy problem in your life that you can't solve yourself, then email me at this email. But I'm getting a lot of requests, so I can't do everyone's video. I want to do everyone's video because every video you guys
crazy
submitted me is awesome, but I literally can't do every single video. I don't have enough time, guys. I'm sorry.
Provo Canyon School just officially closed today, which honestly I don't really know what that means for the rest.
How does Ben pay for like lawyers and stuff if he only had $2 grand and all his videos get demonetized?
The video series, me and Sheldon thought for sure we were gonna have to go on some like huge journey in order to take this company down, but yeah, they just shut down today. So the only bad news is when I first called Jordan, the fan who told me about this idea, this is what he said to me.
What these places do is that they'll have some sort of controversy happen. They will shut down the program, and then they will open up under a new rebranded program. They avoid any sort of accountability.
Thank you for saying Gesundheit and
by just rebranding and just acting like they did nothing wrong in the first place. It's really crazy. So
yeah, I am a little worried that they just closed down because they're in hot water right now, and then they're gonna rebrand and reopen as a new facility. But if that happens, I guess the series just
Oh yeah, I guess his Patreon is probably huge.
Keeps going on. So now I want to share a pretty important
And he had a legal GoFundMe. Okay.
behind the scenes moment where I just escaped Provo Canyon. And it was like 25 degrees outside. It was freezing, and I don't do well exercising in cold weather for whatever reason. I get to the bathroom. I threw up like 10 times. I didn't show it in the video because it's disgusting.
What?
It was freezing, and I
Oh, I
it was
see,
like
when he
25
escaped.
degrees outside. It was freezing, and I don't do well exercising in cold weather for whatever reason. I get to the bathroom, I threw up like 10 times. I didn't show it in the video because it's disgusting. And then Sheldon picks me up. We go back to the Airbnb.
We made it safe, dude. Yeah.
For most of the time when I was inside Provo Canyon, I didn't have a camera on me, so I wanted to just spill all my thoughts out to the camera while it was still fresh in my head.
Okay, so here's what happened. As I've said, I hand bend the chips, and here's what happened. I came in early, like we planned, and I went everywhere I wasn't supposed to, Ben. And I'm like, where the hell's Ben? Where were you at, like, from like 2 to like the time I saw you? You were in a therapist's office, weren't you?
No, I was in the gulag.
Oh, they had just let you out of the gulag?
Yeah, I was in the gulag for the first day and a half.
Yeah, that had to suck.
Thanks, Monsoon Lagoon, for doing the weather conversion for me. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I was in there for like 30 hours.
You were probably like, how boring was it?
I mean, I feel like I can go with like sensory deprivation. It was super boring, but like the worst part is that I just didn't have a camera on me, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'm
like,
sorry.
I was just doing that for nothing.
Do you think if I had handed it to you when I got you on the key?
Dude, I was thinking what I should have done. So right when I showed up, they gave me a gift basket, right?
Yeah.
And they never inspected the gift basket.
Oh, so you could
So what I should have done is I should have had long sleeves on, had the chips inside like that.
Yeah.
I should have brought the chips with me, and as they give me the gift basket, I like slide the chips in the gift basket. That's what I should have done. Well, we can always do that next time, but...
Oh my...
Is that true, Jordan? Have you been exposing this for years? Like, have you gotten your own flack and pushback for talking about this? Jordan, if you're on Discord, I should have you call into the stream right now and talk about this more, because there's obviously more to the story.
God, we just played them, dude. My fucking...
Do you see something else that's crazy?
What?
So, one of the staff in the gulag, he gave me pants. So, the way that you check, you pocket check, right?
Yeah.
So, so see this? I go, hey, I have no pockets. And I say, okay, just go like this, and then go like this with your underwear, right?
Yeah.
See my underwear?
Yeah.
Boom, pocket check, right? What you failed to see was I have a second pair of pants on way down here that do have pockets in. That's how I got around it. Just look, it's just, these are my pants and my underwear, right?
No, my plan works,
But
dude.
look, underneath, I have a bigger pair of pants, and these pair of pants do have pockets in. So that's how I got around
How easy was it to climb the wall?
Oh, I mean, it probably would have been really hard because they had like mesh over it. I had to do kind of like
What up, Iconic? How you doing,
a
Chris?
wall run, and then I got to it, and then I had to climb like the huge mesh, and I just jumped like 15 feet down. It was a good like 15-foot jump, but I did it. And I'm a rock climber, so I mean it was pretty easy for me. But like for anyone else, I could see that being very hard. For literally anyone else, it'd be very hard.
That's probably why it took them so long to catch up.
Oh yeah, there's no way anyone else is climbing that fence. Yeah, it was like meshed over. Like
Now you gotta
yeah.
tell them, like, I'm not paying you your 50 grand, my kid's missing.
Yeah. Should we call him?
No, I think like you should wait till they call you.
Wait, so has any kid ever successfully escaped Provo Canyon before?
No.
So I'm the first person to ever successfully escape.
It's so funny.
Wait, so no one's ever gotten away successfully? Dang.
Dude, okay, so I go in, and this is what I do. I try telling them I'm giving out chips every month. One dude's like, no. So I already tried that, but I'm like, I know I can get Nick to let me give him out on the unit you should have been on. So I was waiting there. Is this everybody? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, fuck. So then I had to go back over to your unit because the kid got transferred to mine. And I had to grab his stuff, and I saw your sheet sitting there. So then I asked my lead, I'm like, hey, like everyone else got 2 bags of chips. Everyone over here's gotten 2 bags of chips. Like this kid, I just met him yesterday. Like, is it cool if I give him 2 bags of chips? And she's basically like, no. And I'm like, all right, I gotta go to the bathroom.
You just did it anyways.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then like, I went out there and you were just getting moved over. And I'm like, yes. I'm
Nice.
so happy, dude, because I had been coming up with excuses the whole day to keep leaving the dorm.
Nice. Yeah, that's when they finally took me out of solitary. Was then. So that's how long I was in solitary for. Is that insane?
Yeah, you were only supposed to be in there a couple hours.
Yeah, I know.
So my bad, I couldn't get it. Like, I don't know if me handing it to you right there would have been sus or not.
It sucks. It's weird because I went from solitary, and then when you get back, so I'm like in the actual dorm now. And it's like, camps just have freedom, and we're still not allowed to talk to each other. Like we just have to sit in chairs all looking at each other, and no one can talk. And they made us watch this stupid TV show that like he was watching, I guess. And it was just some like stupid like drama from like 30 years ago, and it sucked. It was so boring. He sucked.
He was a dick.
Yeah, the girl was a little nicer. Like she was a little cooler, I guess. She was a little less strict. But Jose sucked.
Wow.
It's weird because he looked younger than me, but it was like funny to think like I'm probably older than this dude.
Yeah, you're older than some. You're older than me.
And he's like, but it's funny. Like most of the staff that's bossing me around, I'm like, I'm older than you. Like, why are you bossing me around? But yeah, it's funny.
That shit's annoying, huh? The way they boss you around nonstop?
Yeah, it sucks, dude. I went 17 hours without peeing, right?
Are you serious?
And then we get back from breakfast. So I've been 17 hours without peeing.
No way.
And then we get back, and the first thing he says is like, I don't want anyone to ask me if you can use the bathroom. And then we get down, and I'm like literally about to pee my pants. And I'm like, shoot, I want to ask to use the bathroom so bad, but I know he's going to blow up on me if I ask to use the bathroom. I'm like,
Thank you, Legend Gaming. But you know what, Legend Gaming? It's time for you to start getting that streak going on alwaysmarco.vip. That's the real tea right there.
I literally can't hold it anymore, though. And I just had to hold it. It's 17 hours of not peeing.
They really made you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other
and like, no one's in the bathroom. It's like, why can't I just
And what if he peed his pants? Would they have punished him?
use the bathroom? Like, it's just because he was like wanting to power trip us, you know?
After breakfast? Because you guys don't have
Like,
bathrooms
yeah,
in
and
your
like
room.
it's not like no, we do, but it's not like no, it's in the common room, yeah. But it's not even like someone was in the bathroom. It's not like we were busy doing something. It's not like we were misbehaving. He was literally just trying to power trip us.
Wow. Did everyone else agree? Did you get everyone else?
Yeah, like everyone's like, I have to pee so bad because like we woke up and he's like, we were not allowed to use the bathroom. We were eating breakfast first, and then we were taking our I don't know. It was stupid.
That's crazy. Yeah.
This is just like bonus footage, right? This is just them talking.
Hard from that run. I still got.
Okay, dude.
You were worried?
Oh, dude, I've never, like, I felt so bad leaving because I thought we got caught.
What wanted level do you think I am right now?
I think,
like, what happens when a kid escapes?
The cops are out looking for him.
Wait, the cops are looking for me right now?
Yeah.
Am I like an Amber Alert?
Yeah.
Wait, really? Should we try an Amber Alerts on and see?
Yeah.
Well, if you like this behind the scenes moment, you can get tons of more behind the scenes moments just like.
What a fucking legend. Okay, we've got yeah, I just googled this, that the Bricks and Minifigs people settled with the family whose Lego that they allegedly stole or held on to longer than they should have. Wow, it's so fucking demoralizing to see how much public support has to be drummed up before one of these like nefarious companies will actually do something, which is why, like, I'm just telling you, if I'm gonna come out and speak about my situation, like, it has to be like, you know, I'm definitely texting CoffeeZilla like, yo, today is the day, you know. But we're gonna talk to Jordan from that video that we just watched in a moment. I just posted a link to the Discord in the chat, and have him call in right now so that we can talk to him. Jordan, are you in my server? I posted a link to it in the chat. If you're in there, join it, and I'll add you as a friend, and then we can jump on a call. So while Jordan does that, you know, as Ben was talking about not being able to pee for 17 hours, it made me realize I really have to pee. So let me go pee while Jordan joins the Discord, and we'll get on a call with him. In the meantime, there's 70 people watching and only 37 likes on the stream. So thumbs up the ting, and I'll be right back. And yeah, BRB.
My big beautiful Belle, Belle, Belle. All the things that you can feel, feel, feel. You make me feel so alive with that incredible size. My big beautiful Belle, 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 Belle. Do you still wanna Netflix and chill, 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 chill? We can watch Brokeback Mountain. That movie ended in a big ass fountain. My big beautiful Belle, Belle. Riding up and down that hill, hill, hill. And Hillary don't have to know about us. This some presidential, confidential last love. My baby, beautiful Bill, Bill. This that love that can be kill, kill, kill. I wrote a special like in your name. Passing this eternal back party sun flame. And I know you're a Democrat. I'm Republican, don't give a fuck about that. We were loving like Romeo and Juliet. West Side Story, baby, let's fake all that. We're together in these Epstein files. Presidential romance is still alive.
We're together in these Epstein files. Okay, here we go. We've got Straight Out of BS podcast, add friend. Here we go. You message him. All right. I added you as a friend, dude. So hit that request, confirm that request, and we'll be good to go here. Just started a video call with him. Let's see. I'll pull it up on the screen in a second here. Waiting. Jordan, I added you as a friend on Discord, and I'm calling you as we speak. The call is pending. Let me refresh here. We're together in his Epstein files. Thank y'all for the support again, by the way. Streamlabs link in the chat. It said unable to join. No, not true. I've heard enough. Friendship without YouTube membership is over. Marco VIP is now my best friend. Let's go, Jeff. Let's go. You're a legend. Jeff Miller says this has to be his best AI song. It's up there. So Provo is just the latest installment. They'll still create another version soon, I'm assuming. I'm guessing so. I mean, if that guy's making $90 million a year, I'm sure he's got his shit set up in a way that he's like pretty much untouchable, right? Creating a new corporate structure, that all that means is filling out some paper. Okay, Jordan says I'm not seeing anything yet. Jordan, check your friend requests. I added you as a friend. You should see it if you go to your friend requests. Here, I'll even oh, I have to give you a role. Okay, here, I've given you a role, so you should be able to see all the channels in the Discord, in the server. And here, I'll post it right here. There, I just tagged you in general chat, telling you to, so you can click my name and join. Jeff Miller and always Marco VIP. Okay, straight out of BS accepted your request. Join the call. There we go. Here it's going. Mans is in a YouTube video that's blowing up with millions of views and doesn't have a working Wi-Fi connection. It's loading. It says he's joined the call. Ah. Come on. Damn it. What the heck? Yeah, I do. But I don't see you. Hey, there we go. There we go. Okay, let me make sure that the people can hear you. Because I'm not sure if your audio is coming through. So let me just see. Discord. Okay, say something.
That should be better because I muted my YouTube one.
There we go. Okay, good. I got you. All right, everybody. So we got Jordan here. Jordan, I've seen your name in the chat before, right?
I may have been in here before. I can't quite remember. Probably though. If you remember seeing my name, then probably.
So did somebody send you the link to my stream just now that like, oh, Marco's talking about this and you popped in, or how did you see it?
So I've been every single day since the doc dropped, I've been just in the feed, like doing a search, like refreshing it every so often, just like reaction to the Provo Canyon School. And I've literally gone to every single video and just given people thanks for keeping, you know, the pressure on this and like awareness on it, because it really means the world to me. And so yours popped up and I saw you were live, so I decided to pop in and say, hey, I'm Jordan, and thank you for that,
Yeah, you're a legend, man. Thank you. And so give me the brief, like 30-second rundown. You were in this as a teenager, obviously, as we saw in the in the video, and then what? Since then, you've been trying to expose them, and there's just like an endless sort of hydra of these types of companies that are doing these like schools, if you want to call them that are like being shitty to kids, and they just keep popping up and rebranding like a game of whack-a-mole, or what?
So I didn't go to Provo Canyon specifically. I went to a place called Spring Creek Lodge Academy in Thompson Falls, Montana, which was it was like 30 miles from the nearest town or whatnot, and I spent 22 months there. And then when I got out, I kind of got like heavy into hard drugs, and like just I was homeless for like over a decade and really struggled. And when I got sober, I just kind of like I kind of fell into the survivor community. I didn't really know that there was like as big of a survivor community as there was. So I kind of fell into that, and then I thought to myself one day, I was like, you know, like I see some podcasts about like specific programs, but I don't really see a podcast like encompassing every single kind of program, like no limits type thing. So I was like, you know what, why don't I just make that podcast, you know? And I kept on being like, you know, if I don't do it and act on this right now, somebody else is going to do it, and I'm going to regret that later that I didn't start it up. So I started it up, and that was 4.5 years ago. And, you know, I'm just trying to expose, if you're abusing kids and, you know, trafficking kids in the middle of the night to take them to these places and doing all of that stuff, like, you need to be exposed. I'm sorry, like, you know?
Of course. Absolutely. Well, thank you for what you're doing, of course. And yeah, so you were sent there for smoking weed? Is that what you said in the video?
Yeah, so smoking weed and just like talking back a little bit to my parents. Like regular teenage stuff, like just rebellious teenager.
And were your parents really successful to be able to pay $50,000, or how much? Like I'm guessing it's always been expensive.
So for what my parents paid, I could have had a full ride at Harvard, from what I understand.
So why did they do it? I mean, if it was just like some talking back and smoking weed, like that's not that you know, dire of a situation, right?
It wasn't that it wasn't exactly what I was doing. It was what my parents were afraid I was gonna start doing, if that makes sense. Like,
which you did start doing, right?
I mean, after I got out of the program, yeah, of course, because I mean,
interesting.
When I got out, it was just like, you know, fuck the world type thing, you know, like I just didn't want to feel anything. I didn't want to be part of society. I frankly, I didn't really even want to live at that point. I just, you know, because I would try and explain these places to people, and they'd just be like, oh, well, you must have done something bad to be there, right? Like, you know, it couldn't have been that bad. Like, you must be exaggerating. Like, that most people just like, because it does sound like a made-up story. It really does. And, you know, so to find out that it's like actually true, just most people don't believe you, you know? So it's just, I didn't really feel like I had anybody to talk to. And even if I had people to talk to, they didn't really get it, you know? Like, how could somebody get that, like, fully understand it without actually going through it?
Totally. So so I have a series on my channel called Multi-Level Misery, and this is basically where I interview people who had experiences in MLMs. And in my experience, at least from the retellings of stories I hear from people who had direct involvement, all of these things operate effectively as cults, in my opinion, where people basically become radicalized through you know, new age spiritualism nonsense and The Secret and sleep deprivation and manipulation and doublespeak and lying, to basically believe that these companies are going to be their salvation, when really it just destroys them and strips them of their true personality and their money and their personal relationships, and it takes everything from them. These things seem a little bit more transparent and straightforward, in the sense that it's kind of like nobody there thinks, like none of the students, if you want to call them that, think that they're getting something good out of this, but they're sort of subversively being abused. It's kind of straight up abuse, isn't it?
Yeah, it's abuse, it's torture, it's, you know, exploitation, all of that.
Right. So this is what's confusing to me, is like multi-level marketing companies have the benefit of like political lobbying, and they disguise themselves as businesses, direct selling businesses. You know, we're not cults, we're selling toothpaste, or, you know, they're very well thought out in their disguises. This really isn't disguising that. So I guess I'm just confused as to how there could be so many accounts of abuse in places like this. You have big celebrities like Paris Hilton talking about it, and yet they're still around. So like for MLM, when people ask me, how is MLM still legal? I can explain, well, there's political lobbying. All the people that work there are subcontractors. They're not officially staff. So the legal liability isn't on the company, on and on and on. But with this, I myself am kind of confused because it's like, yeah, how is a vetted staff member who did a criminal background check and a training supposedly who's abusing kids, how is that not getting these places shut down?
Well, I mean, these people are extremely, like, quote unquote good, I guess you could call it. They're just stupid, but it ends up working at damage control. I mean, literally, like, anytime they face any kind of controversy, if it's bad enough, they'll just like shut down and reopen under a different name, just to deflect all accountability. They a lot of this stuff goes underreported as well. They don't always report like stuff that happens, like incidents. Like if a child gets hurt, they're not always going to report that. Or if they do report it, it's like kind of skewed to be in their favor if they ever were asked these hard questions about things. And it's just they just deflect all accountability, and so it's really hard to actually. And then on top of that, they don't let like fucking anybody into the facility. And if you do get into the facility somehow with cameras or anything like that, it's kind of like when you go to North Korea, right? I've never been, but like it's kind of like that. They give you the tour and they're like, this is what North Korea is like, right? This is the way they want you to see it, right? It's kind of like the same thing. They present a fallacy to you, and so you feel like nothing's going wrong, and they know when you're coming. So that's like one of these things. They need to do unannounced visits or something like that, where they don't have time to skitter scatter and just like, oh, this is like everything's fine, the kids aren't being abused, they're being fed right. All they have to do is just feed the kids right for a day, while they're being investigated, and it doesn't look like they're starving the kids or anything like that. So I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why they're still open, but also the main reason is money and greed. These people just want money.
So when you say that they shut down and restart, like obviously they're not actually like going to a new facility, right? Like, are you saying that they might close for a week, but then it's in the same staff in the same building with a new name?
Yes, exactly.
Right. So I just don't understand how, like, if a person can get out of there and say, James that worked there, for example, did this, this, and this to me, and he's still working there and it's under a different name. Can't at the very least, can't the perpetrators of the abuse, like on an individual basis, be prosecuted for their conduct? Or is it like some sort of waiver thing where when you join, you sign a waiver that says you're, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're giving up your right to be able to sue for something like that? Or I don't understand.
So you don't do a waiver. It's just like, how are you going to prove that? Like you can like tell people all you want that you were raped in there, right? Do you have physical evidence that you were actually raped? Because that's the only thing that really matters. So people do try and get like justice for these kind of things all the time, but they're not able to prove it most of the time. And for a lot of people, like me included, like I didn't even really fully realize like how bad the brainwashing and stuff was. Like there was a while when I got out of the program for a couple of years after that I didn't like, it sucked being there, but I didn't really fully understand and comprehend the psychological damage that had been done and that it was wrong, if that makes sense. Like they use brainwashing and mind control tactics. The place I was at specifically, there's just so much to this, but I'll just kind of break it down like as best as I can. They had these like self-improvement seminars, which were large group awareness trainings, and essentially they used attack therapy, sleep deprivation, and they would not like malnourish you and stuff like that. They would have these processes where you would sit in these small groups and you would just have your peers like say the worst things possible to you about how you're the problem for everything. Like your parents didn't even want you, they sent you here, like and just like for days on end this goes on, and just like to completely break down your psyche or your ego or any sense of self that you had before that. And so it's just the brain control, like the brainwashing and all of that is just so deeply ingrained that it took me a really long time to realize that it was wrong, if that makes any sense.
I understand. Right. Okay. It's interesting. So I'm guessing like the U.S. is so screwed up for this, like the way you can use bureaucracy in the legal system to just get away with literally anything. So I'm guessing like the guy who owns, insert the name of one of these facilities, is like owning it through some shell company or trust, which just sells it to another thing that he somehow owns anyways. So he's like selling it to himself as a way of getting out of the previous allegations or litigation by shutting it down and then starting it anew. I'm guessing.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what they do. They move all their assets. They a lot of them like use shell companies, like you were saying, and they just move the funds, whatever they need to do. They move the location of the school. They keep all the same staff. They keep the kids, and that's my concern. Like I'm trying to ask, like, where did the kids that were in Provo go when they closed? Like, they probably moved them off to another school for now until they can figure out like how they're going to rebrand into another school,
Right.
and then they'll move them back to the original new Provo Canyon, not called
Right,
Provo Canyon.
right. So another question I have that's more of like a practical question is like in the case of Ben's video that we just watched, where Provo Canyon shuts down as soon as his video comes out or right after his video comes out, what about the kids who are in there whose parents have paid an arm and a leg for them to be in there? Do they stay in there and it keeps running like clockwork under a new name, or do those kids get sent home?
So I don't know for sure. Like it varies like person to person. Certainly, I think for some of the kids, depending on like why they were sent there, like if you were court ordered, I think it would be different than if your parents like sent you there, for example. And I think that it would be like on a person to person basis. For some people, they might call the parents, and this comes down to like if the staff likes you, they might actually go to bat for you and call your parents and be like, hey, we're shutting down. Do you want to come get your son? For other students, they could very well just like get transferred to another program. Parents might not even be called. Similar to how they waited a long time to even report Ben running.
Right. And so when you say transferred to another program, do you mean to another actual physical facility?
Yes, that's what.
Okay, so they would do that. I see. So because the reason I ask that is because obviously this is all about money at the end of the day. And so I would imagine if you hit them where it hurts, which is their wallets, that's going to be problematic for them. And if the parents who are spending the money or whoever's spending the money to put their kids there are not getting what they paid for, I assume that would probably be like if I paid $50,000 for my kid to go and I found out that 2 days later a video came out from Reckless Ben that shut the whole place down and now I'm out 50 grand, I'm pretty sure that I would be making a fuss as well as the other parents. So even forget the allegations of former people who were like in there as members, like as students, if you will. But like, yeah, the parents who paid the money, I would assume that their voices, if the victims' voices didn't make an impact, I would assume that the people whose money keeps the place afloat, I assume their voices would mean something. So is that something you have any insight on as to like the perspective of somebody who paid money and didn't get what they were thinking from it?
Well, yeah, I've interviewed a couple parents. I've actually interviewed a parent and their child that went there at the same time. So I've gotten kind of like both perspectives. The truth is the majority of parents were sold a fucking fallacy. They were sold a lie. They were like told it was going to be one way, and it turned out to actually abuse and hurt and harm their child. And for most parents that actually, you have to also understand that some kids are also there because their parents just don't want them. So if the parent actually cares, obviously they're going to want them out of the facility if they find out about something like that. But the majority of parents are severely deceived. And if they're not deceived and they actually knew about the program, then they just didn't want their parent. They just didn't want their kid. And so they're paying for one of the most expensive, quote unquote, babysitters there is,
And what if their kid comes back from, like, obviously they can't hold the kids forever. So what happens when the kid comes back and says, fuck you, mom and dad, you put me in a place where they did this, this, and this to me? Surely some of those parents who do care, who were deceived, are going to try to be like, they're going to feel guilty and want to do something about it, right? So do you have any insight as to why that hasn't happened?
It definitely has happened. There have been parents that have, gotten involved in lawsuits against these places. A lot of them get involved with their kids after their kids end up telling them what happened. And if the parent actually believes that actually happened to the kid, because there's a lot of parents that don't even believe you were ever abused in the program, and won't even admit that they could possibly be wrong. I think I'm not sure why more hasn't happened in that sector, where when they come forward, like, I don't know why more action hasn't happened. It's obviously because of money at the end of the day, but it's just very frustrating because a lot of people have been coming forward about this kind of stuff in lawsuits and other avenues for longer than I even know about. You know, like, people have been talking about this for decades.
Right.
It's been going on
So
a long time.
have you personally, like, gotten any retribution or backlash besides, like, ghost accounts messaging you, threatening things because of your, I guess, speaking out about this?
Yes, I have. I don't really know if I want to speak about it publicly, though. But I have been reached out. I'll just say that I've been reached out to some people, like, extremely high up in power before. Like, it was closer to, like, when I first started my podcast, with, like, before my 100th episode, probably like episode 50, around there. I was reached out to, and I was essentially asked, I guess you would say, to stop talking about what I was talking about. And I asked, they were being vague about what they were talking about, and I said, "Are you talking about my podcast?" And they said, "Yes, I'm talking about the podcast. You need to stop talking about that." And I pretty much ended up ignoring them, but they did reach out, and I did look at the profile, and I can verify that it wasn't actually, like, that person. It had, like, pictures that couldn't have been uploaded at the time. Like, it couldn't have been AI, you know what I mean? It was obviously, like, family photos and stuff like that that kind of proved who they were. So sorry I'm being
Okay.
vague about that. I just don't want
No,
to
I
say, like,
understand.
anybody's name directly.
I understand. So you say the names of the supposed schools that these people went to on the channel, right?
Yeah, yeah. Every
Yeah.
single
So
time I do.
so are you getting, like, I mean, the videos, like, I'm not saying, I'm just saying this as an observation, but I noticed that, at least in my own experience, I didn't really start getting tangible, like, legal threats until the videos were a big enough problem to warrant them. And so do you think the only reason that you haven't gotten, like, more, like, cease and desist letters or lawsuits from specific places that you've named is because the videos just aren't, like, they're not, like, mega viral yet, like Reckless Benz? Do you think that's kind of keeping you safe in that regard?
Definitely, yeah. I definitely, well, I know that to be true, you know, like, because obviously, like, with virality and stuff that goes, like, gets lots of views, you know, you have more eyes on it, so there's more potential for people to think that their interests are being threatened and want to reach out
Right.
and tell you to stop doing what you're doing.
Well, this is the double-edged sword of these types of videos, right? Is that you want to get people's stories out there, and of course you want people to see them because it's deterrence. But the more people see them, the higher the target on your back increases, which might lead to a lawsuit that prevents you from talking about them at all in the future. So surely some views is better than no views. You know, some awareness is better than no awareness. And I know this from experience. So I guess, is your hope to keep the podcast kind of, like, low key, or do you want it to grow more? I'm assuming the answer is you want it to grow more, hence reaching out to Ben.
Yeah, I really do want to grow it more. Like, I'm honestly, like, I'm not really, like, if people want to come after me, like, they're going to come after me regardless. Like, I'm just, like, I know my purpose is this. Like, there's a reason that everything worked out the way it has, you know, like, the timing on this was crazy. Like, I still don't even, like, I kind of feel like I'm like in a dream or something. Like, the way everything's just worked out and, like, fallen into place. And I definitely do want things to want my channel to get bigger, obviously, because I want more awareness on this topic. And even if that means a target's on my back, like, doing this work at all, is sacrificing my mental health to a degree, because
Yeah, I understand.
the kind of stuff I hear on a very regular basis, not even adding, like, the stuff that I remember because people bring up something that I had maybe, like, blocked out in my mind. Between those two things, like, it can be a very taxing on your mental health. So that's already a sacrifice. So I'm already sacrificing that. I'm not really that worried. If people want to take me out, they'll take me out. If people want to tell me to stop talking about stuff, they'll tell me to stop talking about it. There's not really anything I can do about that. I can keep on spreading awareness and doing whatever I can to, at the end of the day, know that I did everything in my power to combat this industry and like try and help the children. So,
of course. Well, I feel exactly the same as you when it comes to talking about multi-level marketing companies. Perhaps we need to. I've done some videos, like interviews with people that weren't specifically in a multi-level marketing company. Like, for example, I've interviewed people who worked, paid money to like be mentored by Grant Cardone or be part of his thing, for example. That wasn't technically an MLM, but it still was an interesting episode of the podcast. So maybe doing an interview, like a proper interview with you, would be a good thing, because there seems to be overlaps in what the people I normally talk to have gone through, as well as you, like with the control methods and the brainwashing and the cover-ups and the way that they sort of somehow slip through the cracks of like getting caught or getting in trouble. That could be interesting if you're interested in that.
No, I'm totally interested. Let's make it happen. I'm always down to do like collaborations and like anything to get awareness out there and, like educate people. And, like if I can help, like a person like deprogram from like the brainwashing, or just like even, like just realize that they're not alone, that's all worth it to me. So.
Right. Also, I wanted to ask you, going back like to your experience, you said that your parents had sent you to the program that you were in because they were worried about you sort of becoming more delinquent. Do you think that it was kind of this irony where, do you think that your experience at the program actually like accelerated your, that lifestyle? Like, it's impossible to say for certain without a time machine whether you would have gone down the same path if you hadn't gone through the program, but what's your take on it?
I know for a fact it contributed. There's several factors. Like, I mean, one of them was that there's not just like, there's kids that misbehaved and talked back to their parents there. There's kids that their parents just didn't want them. There's also kids there that were court ordered. There's actual like criminals there that have actually, like, there was a couple people at the place I went. I'm not going to say any names, obviously, but they were there on some murder charges. And so you mix all those people together, and it becomes kind of like, becomes unpredictable. And so there was people in there that were talking to me about like how when I get out, I need to try heroin, because like, why would you not? Because you were just stuck in here. Like, it's so amazing. Like, you're not going to feel anything. You're going to be numb. Like, trust me on this, And then it'd be like, you got to try meth because all this, like, it's just so good. And I was constantly surrounded by that, and like surrounded by people that were a lot of the times older than me. So I would like kind of look up to them in a way. And they would just be like telling me how bomb it is. And like, so in that aspect, it definitely accelerated. But then also the trauma it gave me, like the trauma, like physical and mental, that it had on me. Like, I didn't want to feel anything when I got out, So in both of those respects, I know for a fact it accelerated it. And I definitely don't know if I've often thought about like what would have happened to me if I hadn't been sent away. And I don't feel like I would have ever tried hard drugs. I think maybe, and even if I did, I think it wouldn't have had such a stranglehold on me, because I had quite a bit of trauma before that, but nothing like on that level, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't have anything to definitively point to and be like, okay, yeah, like, there's not a person in the world that probably wouldn't understand why I'm doing this right now. Like, for a lot of people, they'd probably do the same thing. And so I don't know. I don't think I would have ever tried hard drugs or had a stranglehold on me, but I think I would have continued to experiment. I definitely know that I would have smoked weed, but I don't know what else would have happened to me. Like, I don't know if I would have gotten a job, and I could have had a family. Like, I have no idea what would have happened, but it is. I try not to think about it too often because I can't really change that.
Right.
But it's kind of interesting to kind of do that thought process.
Right.
Occasionally.
Well, you're still young. I mean, when it comes to the topic of having a family, you could start having a family when you're 40 if you wanted to. You still look pretty young. How old are you?
35.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, it's not like, and you seem to be. This is in your past, right? Like you seem to be. Yeah. You've been doing this podcast a few years now, so you've been. I'm assuming, like, you've been together. Like, you've got yourself together for a few years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Also, this is I'm guessing you don't say the name of the program you were involved in because it's still around. Is that correct?
No. So
Oh.
I actually did say it. Spring Creek Lodge Academy in
okay.
Thompson Falls, Montana. They actually shut down. I was the last person to quote unquote graduate from there before it got shut down. I actually graduated with one singular other person, which was the smallest graduating class ever that had ever happened there. After I graduated from there, they shut down due to a bunch of lawsuits, including a girl named Carly Newman, rest in peace. She hung herself in the bathroom, and so that was one of the lawsuits that ended up. Obviously, that was extremely negligent. She shouldn't have been even able to have the time to do that. They should have been keeping an eye on her, but also her parents were trying to get her out of the program actively before that happened. Like, they were stonewalling the parent and being like, "Oh no, you can't come and get her yet." And there was even a court order that the sheriff did not act on immediately, that demanded that she be released from the program. And before parents got to come get her, she killed herself. So there was that. There was a bunch of lawsuits of neglect, abuse, sexual like grooming, stuff like that went on at Spring Creek Lodge. So they're shut down. But if they rebranded, then I would definitely be going after them first. This documentary might have been about them, but I kind of just asked the survivor community I'm part of, who has some of the most documented abuse. If you obviously all of these places are horrible, right? So I don't want anybody to compare, but physical evidence wise, on paper, how many, and then they were Provo Canyon, almost unanimously. So I was like, okay. So I went after that one,
Yeah. So I know that I'm not exactly sure how it works with the structuring of something being a corporate entity that you can just shut down to evade consequence, but it's human beings, it's individual human beings at the end of the day who are perpetrating the acts of abuse. So is there some sort of possibility where, I'm sure you probably know the name of the person who was the founder or the owner of Spring Creek. It's called Spring Creek Academy, right? I'm sure there might be a way to find out using some sort of corporate registry or something if they just change the name and own another one that's doing the same thing. But I just am so flabbergasted at how could somebody not be. I mean, you said there was lawsuits. So were those lawsuits against the academy or against individuals that worked there, or what's, enlighten me on that?
They were both. So some of them were against the academy. The negligence was more so against the academy, but the grooming and the assault and the suicide I think also was on the academy, because it was harder probably to pinpoint exactly who they could charge that with. But the grooming and the assault and all of that was, as I believe, I'd have to double check or whatnot, but I believe it was on an individual basis. So I think people actually got in trouble for that.
Okay.
Okay. But not all the people there. Obviously, it was just that one person. And whenever these people do get charged, they don't seem to do much time either. They seem to just get a slap on the wrist, because there's also lobbying that happens behind the scenes to keep these places open and to, I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume try and decrease people's sentences if anybody gets caught.
Is the lobbying association this WWASP, Worldwide Association of Specialty Programs in Schools?
So WASP is the umbrella corporation for the kind of program that I went to. So Spring Creek Lodge is a WASP program. Cross Creek is a WASP program. I can't think of there's just so many programs. I think Casa by the Sea, Tranquility Bay, I think was a WASP program. There's a lot of WASP programs, but it's a specific type of program. I think the characteristics of the place that I went is points and levels. It's a points and levels based program. There's the large group awareness training seminars that happen in the WASP programs, and I'm pretty sure that's specific to the WASP type of program. And then they have other things that separate them from, say, a wilderness program. And then you have the religious programs that use the Word of God to pretty much, just tell you you're a piece of shit and that what they're doing is always right because God told them to do it and God said it was okay. So there's all types of programs. It's very complex, but to answer your question, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there. WASP is an umbrella corporation for a specific type of Troubled Teen Industries school.
I see. So there was a documentary called The Program on Netflix about these types of WASP schools in 2024. Were they accurate in your opinion? Were they sort of on the money about what the problems were?
Exactly. They were right on the money because that was a survivor-made documentary.
Oh,
That
okay,
came
I
from the
see.
survivor community. That was made like I'm pretty sure they wrote and directed it and all of that. So that was an extremely good documentary. If you haven't seen that yet, I would recommend watching it. It does a really good job breaking down like how these programs operate, like what the structure of the programs are, what kind of impact they have. They talk about also like the after effects of like what happens to the kids after they get out and how they struggle, and like they get into like the parent side of it and like how the parents felt and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend it. It's really good.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up a trailer for that so we can watch it after. The Program: Cons, Cults, and Kidnapping. Interesting. Okay. Also, there seems to be. I just looked up the guy who's the founder of WASP, Robert Litchfield.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marvin.
So it says he's been linked to controversial network of schools for troubled teens and allegations of fraud and abuse. And then if you go down, it says he's a longtime campaign fundraiser for Republican Senator and 2012 presidential candidate Mitt Romney. Fun fact that there seems to be a convergence here of Mormonism because Mitt Romney is Mormon, huge family. He's been supported by this Litchfield guy. Fun fact people also might not know is that Mitt Romney's biggest sponsor is Nu Skin, the multi-level marketing company Nu Skin. Correction, Mitt Romney's biggest backer for his 2012 presidential campaign, based on this article I'm reading from Mother Jones from 2011, which is called Mitt Romney's Biggest Backers, Pyramid Schemers, ? It talks about how Nu Skin donated and supported him to try to help him become the president, and that there was some sponsorship in 2002, dating back as far as 2002, where it says that as head of the Salt Lake organizing committee for the 2002 Winter Olympics, Mitt Romney secured a $20 million corporate sponsorship from Nu Skin. So presumably that was to have a Nu Skin presence at the Winter Olympics. So there seems to be, what is it about Utah that seems to be, or is it Mormonism? I don't know. Like what, I'm just trying to look at the common, like the similarities and draw, like, I guess, recognize patterns. It seems to be like, is this Robert Litchfield guy Mormon as well?
They're all Mormon. So it's Mormonism is the common denominator you're looking for.
Right.
Mormonism is involved in almost like the majority of these programs. Like I'm not going to say all of them, but it's probably like 95%. You know, like it's very, very deeply ingrained, and all of this is connected. So once you start following the money and really like pulling the hood off of this thing, you're gonna see that all of this stuff is connected.
I see. Wow. It just seems like
It's hard to believe. I know it's hard to believe.
It just seems like with every systemic like force of evil, whether it's multi-level marketing or like, you know, support for Israel or these school program, whatever, these abusive programs, the underlying thing keeping them all afloat is lobbying. It's like these trade associations lobbying. And it's like once I discover one thing, and I think I've discovered the biggest like scandal, which is what I thought for a long time with MLM. And then I started learning more about like APAC, and I was like, oh, actually, this is way more fucked up. And then you learn about like these programs, like these supposedly like teenage rehabilitation programs, and it's like, oh, this is also like really, really fucked up. So I just I don't know. I just feel like I'm I'm at a loss. And if somebody like, Ben is probably the best example of like him, or CoffeeZilla is somebody who, or like Andrew Callahan, are the only people I can think of who would like make a video that would get this much viewership and bring this much awareness. Also like Tommy G, Tyler Oliveira, them as well. They could like, there's a few guys who can make a huge video like this to the point that within days of its release, there's a follow-up coming out about how the school has shut down. But if they can just rebrand and play whack-a-mole, then it didn't really do anything, right? So what actually needs to happen?
Well, my tactic is just like spread as much awareness as you can, because that will in turn eventually lead to new laws, hopefully. I don't have like all the answers, and I don't know exactly like what else we need to be doing, but I know that raising awareness is a big part of this. And like, if you have the capacity to be able to lobby against this, like find people that don't support the TTI and like work with them to try and pass new laws and stuff like that. There have been a couple new laws passed. They mostly have been survivor led in the past, so it's possible to get new laws passed. But I think the biggest like thing that we can do, like, because anybody can raise awareness, you know what I mean? Anybody can share a video, anybody can, spread it by word of mouth. So I think that's the thing that everybody could be doing to help conquer this,
Well, the tricky thing about passing new laws, like people say about, people say this to me all the time about MLMs, which they mean well, but it shows a fundamental misunderstanding. They'll say like, why don't we get laws passed? We'll bring awareness to get laws passed to make these pyramid schemes illegal. Well, pyramid schemes are already illegal. It's already illegal to run a Ponzi scheme. So it's already illegal to rape and abuse and kidnap and torture and do all hold people against their will and whatever. But if they're calling themselves something else, like they're not, these Provo Canyon type places, they're not calling themselves torture facilities or re-education facilities. They're calling them like, I don't know what the actual designation they use, but I'm guessing it's something along the lines of like program for troubled teens, or, it's supposed to help them. They're advertising it like it's something that's good, that it's helping. And I struggle with this as well, because now the argument that you're having to make is, well, actually, they're just calling themselves something different, but in practice, what they're doing is this. That's what multi-level marketing is. That even the term multi-level marketing is a made-up euphemism for what they're actually doing, in my opinion. But it's like pyramid schemes are already illegal, so now you have to go and explain why it's a pyramid scheme, and that becomes more difficult too, because there are actually legal distinctions between, technically it's not a pyramid scheme, it's a legitimate MLM if blah blah blah, and it's like it's kind of not, the legal literature on it is like conflicted and not clear, and not, two judges could see the same case and make two different decisions with two different outcomes. So it's more complicated than that. And then of course also the awareness part, which I agree is important, is hindered by the fact that when you have somebody that gets that has a voice, that gets enough awareness about something, well, they can just be sued into oblivion. Yep. And usually the people that you're exposing have been at it for many, many years before they've been exposed, which means that they've already built up their war chest of resources to be able to just destroy whoever's coming at them. And if not destroy them, settle with them to a point where it's like, hey, you're never going to talk about this again. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Give them an NDA type thing, give them an NDA.
Yep. And so somebody in my chat earlier said Luigi had it right. Obviously, that's not a realistic solution to every one of these problems, but the lobbying, I mean, it's the lobbying, right? We didn't vote these people. We didn't vote for this. We don't want this. But I think, in the US, you guys had Citizens United, which basically was the law that said a company is a person, or like a company can act as a person effectively, where like they can donate as much as they want because they're effectively like acting as an individual. I'm paraphrasing, and this might not be 100% accurate, but that's my understanding. And like, how can we hope that a law will be passed that bans lobbying when the people we rely on to pass that law are themselves the beneficiaries of the lobbying?
Yeah, that's where it becomes really difficult, because then you come up against a brick wall and you're not really able to do much at all, you know? If you invested a lot of resources to get there and you end up hitting a brick wall, it's like, what do you do now, you know?
Right. So was your family like Mormon? Were your parents Mormon? Is there some underlying like Mormon conspiracy going on here?
Not from my family, but for a lot of survivors that got sent to these places, religion was a big role in that, whether it was Mormonism, which is a big percentage, or there's also like the Christian and the other religion, like I'm like Catholic, like pretty much all the religions like do this to a degree. So for a lot of survivors, religion was a big part of it. And especially for the religious programs, it was extremely easy to get the kids in the program, because all they had to do was be like, oh, I just had a vision from God, or God just spoke to me and he said that your child needs to go through this program and that it's the right thing to do. You should be doing this. And if you don't do it, then you're going against the church. And if you're going against the church, then, you know, obviously you know where that goes.
Right. I have one question as well, and then I'll let you go. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I have one question as well about, you'd mentioned that you were homeless for like a decade.
Yes.
So when you say that, like, I'm just thinking about the logistics of that. Is like, when you say you were homeless, were you able, like, during periods of that time to stay in like shelters or stay on a friend's couch or something like that? Or do you literally mean that you were like on the street for a decade?
So not every single night was on the street, but the majority of the time I was on the street, yeah. I was living in a tent. I was staying on people's couch whenever I could. But you have to also remember that I had a heavy drug addiction, so there's not that many people besides fellow addicts, which, as you probably know, aren't the most trustworthy people in the world when they are addicted, to stay with. And so I'd burned a lot of bridges, and obviously my family wasn't going to let me stay at the house anymore, so I didn't have a place to stay. I was on the street, and I kind of had to fend for myself. And so it wasn't every day that I was on the street, but it was a good portion of the time. And I did stay in some shelters, but honestly, there's a lot of abuse that happens in shelters too. They're not exactly the safest place. There's rarely ever even cameras on most of the shelters too. So, and then you have, like, of course, all walks of life that come into the shelter, and, you know, like, nothing wrong with that, but, you know, like, there's some dangerous people in there. I had several close calls when I was homeless, so.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and just another thing I forgot to say about the sort of like logistics of trying to report somebody who's working at one of these youth facilities that's abusing them is like, obviously you don't have a cell phone. So if you're in there and you're being abused, and let's say you have a bruise on your arm or your face or something, well, if they just keep you in solitary until the bruise goes away, then there's no like way for you to take photo or video evidence to document the abuse. And then if you go to make the complaint, they're going to try to undermine your credibility by saying, well, you were a delinquent teenager who was only in there because of your lying and your whatever, and you were just going to say whatever you wanted to get out of there. And it's your word against theirs effectively, right? So, and again, they probably have more resources than you do. So yeah, it's a very it's very grim. And then also, it's like, I believe the term for this is manufactured consent, where they'll say like, well, you know, you wanted to go here, you know, you paid money to go here. You, nobody held a gun to your head and forced, you know, kidnapped you in the night and forced you to come here.
Well, actually, that does happen to some kids. There's some kids that actually are transported. Like, the family will hire a transport company to actually kidnap them in the middle of the night and take them forcibly to this facility. So for some kids, that does happen.
That's like, if you know Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, he has a video where he talks about being part of one of these. It was like a wilderness program where they were mostly outside, like building fires and digging holes and things like that. And so I'm sure this would be quite interesting to him too, in terms of like speaking out. I know Paris Hilton is speaking out about it, but yeah, they just you know, no rest for the wicked, as they say. Crime never sleeps. Like, these people, it just is demoralizing to see how people can be so creative in getting away with evil when it benefits them. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, like, there's a saying that applies to what I'm trying to say here, where it says, like, nonviolent resistance only works if your enemy has a conscience.
Yeah, right? No, it only works because then if they don't have a conscience, then you don't have anything to manipulate.
Right. Yeah. So it's very tough because I want to see if I think I got the quote close enough, but yeah, like if people are willing to destroy and step on and abuse other people in order to get ahead, and you're not willing to play by those, you know, rules, then you're gonna obviously lose. So yeah, I don't know. It's I'm really glad Ben did this video. I really am. I hope that more, you know, more will be done about this, just like I hope more will be done about multi-level marketing. We're at such an interesting pivotal time right now, because this is the first time in human history that individuals, like as Ben showed, with like zero budget, just like the will to do it, can go make a video that goes viral, that brings attention to something like this, that didn't cost you millions of dollars in like PR to create, and it was just you and your own efforts. Myself, I've been sued multiple times because of videos that I made all by myself with my iPhone and my laptop, and it was a big enough problem for, you know, big companies to want to try to destroy me. And so I really do relate. I really do understand. But I say it's an interesting, unique, pivotal time, because we haven't yet seen what the outcome will be. You know, this is still like, will people's individual voices and grassroots movements be enough to make change? I want to think so. I want to think yes. I want to think that, you know, when gay marriage gets legalized, it's because people were protesting in the street and making it known. And when marijuana was legalized, it's for the same reason. And now you have people, but, you know, I just wonder if there's a limit to it. Like, there's been no more bigger, more popular protesting than against the state of Israel. And that, you know, that's had kind of the opposite effect, where the pushback is like, you know, the billionaire class who's like funding the big Ivy League colleges is like, actually, we're going to take our money away, take the funding away unless you stop these. It's like, it's almost like the opposite. Like, they're digging their heels in harder. So I just hope that's not going to be the case with something like this.
No, I completely agree. I really hope that this is like the catalyst to, you know, like really, I hope we can keep the momentum going too, because this also happened, like this wave of momentum happened when the program came out. And as most things, including the Epstein files and all of that, people just eventually stopped talking about it. You know, they slow down on talking about it, and then eventually they just stop talking about it. And that's just something I'm never going to do. I'm never, you know, like, if the bad people in the world never sleep, then I'm not going to sleep either, you know, like, so I'm just going to keep trying, and we got to keep the momentum going. We really got to keep eyes on this. We got to keep the pressure on, and just remember that it's not just Provo, and they're not actually closed yet officially. Like, they could always rebrand. They could always move the kids to another facility. And I've already, you know, like, if they move, you know, like, Ben and I will be on that shit too, you know? He already said in the video, like, if that happens, we'll address it. So.
Yes, and what's the other guy's name who was in the video who worked there? Spencer?
Sheldon.
Sorry, Sheldon. Amazing. Sheldon is doing his own thing, like making videos with like other footage and stuff. You absolutely got to ride the wave of this to get more eyes on what you're trying to do and your mission here, by making videos. Like, if you have footage, or if you have, you know, a video that you can make talking about your experience working with Ben, or things people didn't see, or like I said, cutting clips from the video. Also, I think something that is difficult for all long form content creators that they might not think to take advantage of is the fact that, like, it's a lot harder to get a viewer to buy in for an hour of a conversation than it is to have them buy in for 1 minute. So for each of your hour-long podcast episodes, I really encourage you to, like, go through and find those maybe three or four or five different moments that can be cut down into a 1 minute long clip or a 30-second clip and post that on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on YouTube Shorts, because the discovery you'll get from those is for sure way higher potential than the long form content is going to be. It's very hard to get people to watch an hour, or like in the case of live streams, 3 hours. But that's why I sort of attack all vectors. I make short form content, I make medium length content, I do the live streams and do long form content, and there's a different audience for each. But you definitely gotta capture people with the widest net, which is short form content.
Yeah, definitely cast the widest net, and I'm definitely going to be making. Thank you so much for the idea for pointing that out. I didn't even I'm sure I would have thought about it eventually, but I definitely didn't even pop it into my mind to make some clips about where I was featured in the video for sure, at the very least, and do that. I mean, I'm already making clips. I've been I post a video every week. Or several videos, and so I do usually 3 new clips every week for 3 weeks out of the month, and then 1 full-length episode. I was doing a full-length episode every single week, but that became a little bit too taxing for me, honestly, so I kind of slowed it down, and so now I'm uploading clips. But I'm definitely going to be taking your advice and doing clipping this while we still have the momentum, for sure. And I'm definitely open. I definitely want to make another episode happen if you're open to it.
For sure. And yeah, bro, also a video, it could even be a short video on filmed vertically, where it's I gave Reckless Ben the idea for his new video about Provo Canyon, and I'm in the video, and I'm, something you need to know is that it's not just Provo Canyon, but there's countless types of these places that are doing the same thing, and I've been trying to bring awareness to them for years. And that can, and you can say I talk to survivors of these things or victims of these things every single week on my YouTube channel, and that, even that is something you absolutely should do, or rather something that I would do if I was in your shoes, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll do that too. I'm gonna write that down and make sure I add that to the list for sure. I really appreciate you helping me out. I really do.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. I'd love to see people win, especially you have a huge opportunity right now to strike while the iron is hot. And yeah, it's definitely something I recommend you doing. So let me know if you need any advice on that as well.
Yeah, well, I'd have you in the Discord now, so definitely keep in touch, and we'll definitely make a new episode happen. And yeah, I'll definitely reach out if I need any advice or anything or help.
For sure. Now tell the people where they can find you. I might even recommend changing the name, but I know you've already done a lot of episodes with this branding. But okay, Straight Outta BS podcast. That's the YouTube channel. Is that also the other social medias where they can find you?
Yes, that's the same. It's the same name. For some of them, there's an underscore, but I can post. Actually, on the comment or this. No, that wouldn't be good. Just look for Straight Outta BS. You'll find it. There's not another really Straight Outta BS. As long as you spell it with an STR8, then it should be fine.
Yes, gotcha. Okay, I'll post. I'll post. I mean, you're in my Discord now, but we can post the link in the Discord as well. I'll post the Let me go to your YouTube channel here and post the comment of this in my chat right now, just while it's fresh, so y'all can go subscribe to Jordan as well. Okay, and are you living in Utah now still?
I actually live in Washington.
Okay, in Washington D.C. or Washington State?
Washington State.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's a beautiful place, and I imagine that getting away from Utah was probably an instrumental part of your, changing your life.
Yeah, definitely. I had to get out of there for sure.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, got you. Well, Jordan, we'll talk more off stream. I really appreciate you being here in the chat so that you could enlighten us more on the behind the scenes of the video and just the topic in general of these teen facilities that are horrible. So yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, no problem. And is this live stream going to be after it's done? Is it going to be available to watch after?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
I might even clip out just our discussion segment here and post that too. But it'd probably be better. Probably be better if we do an actual dedicated discussion that I can post. But yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We'll make it happen. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, man, of course. Likewise. All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, bye.
All right, bro. See you. What a legend. Jordan, everybody, from Straight Outta BS podcast. You know, there's a lot of good people in this world. There's also a lot of evil people, and you know,
it's an evil world we live in.
So true. Thank you, Future. And yeah, you know, I'm somebody who I'm at a point where like the pendulum of my optimism is like in the middle, kind of to the left, kind of towards the negative of being not optimistic. I guess that would be pessimistic, because just of what I'm going through personally. But I want to believe in my heart that good will prevail over evil, and it's a challenge every day. Honestly, I just want to make my videos and help people and not have to deal with the nonsense. But you know what? I got to remind myself, this is the cost. This is the cost of being Spider-Man, you know? When you're Spider-Man, you know, you wouldn't be Spider-Man if they weren't trying to come after you. You know, you don't hear Spider-Man being like, what? They're trying to kill Aunt May and Mary Jane? It's like, yes, dude, of course they are. You're Spider-Man. You're fucking their whole shit up. They're trying to steal the tritium and have the power of the sun in the palm of their hand, and you're stopping that for them. You know? So I get it. I just it's like in Spider-Man 2, you know, when he wishes that he was just normal, so he stops being Spider-Man for a bit, and he's like, there's the scene where he's like walking around just chilling, smiling, eating a hot dog, raindrops keep falling on my head, you know? I wish I was that guy. And then he sees the old man being mugged, and he sees the police chasing the bank robber, and he's like, nah, come on, Spidey, I gotta do this. I don't know, I just feel like I'm uniquely suited to contribute to this fight in a way. I feel like I'm good at it. I'm good at what I do. I'm good at speaking, and good at the investigations. I'm brave enough to do them. I'm not married. I don't have children. I'm able to do it. So it's but yeah, one day at a time. All right, y'all. That's all I got for today. E1C1, what up? Thank you again, Jordan, for being here. E1C1 says, growing up, we were fed all these stories of good triumphing over evil. As we age, we realize that's all they were, stories. Yeah, I wonder, even now, I'm describing my remaining optimism through the allegory of a fictional movie, Spider-Man. You know, maybe it's a better, more peaceful life to just, be a videographer and film people's engagement parties and proposals and weddings and family photo shoots, and, probably make a great living doing that. I know there's these photographers. There's one photographer in my city that I was talking to some relatives recently, and they're like, yeah, this guy charges $12,000 for a wedding. And it is a ton of work. Don't get me wrong. Editing videos and photos is a ton of work, especially when it's like cinematic and you're trying to make it all nice. But, maybe that's part of my Saturn return, is like me waking up and getting to a point where I'm like, you know what? I've done enough. I've helped a lot of people. Millions of people have seen my videos, and that was a good legacy to have. And now it's time for me to, just take my skills that I acquired during this process and like help others grow their own social media, and, be a, maybe make other kinds of content, or maybe just like help other people, make their content, or, use my videography, photography skills. I don't know. But if you ask me right now what I want the outcome to be, I want the outcome to be that I fight the good fight, the people rally to support me, and the goon tax comes in, and we fight, and we win, and we defeat the forces of evil, and we beat the lawsuits, and we keep letting it fucking bang on them for the next however long until it takes to have them completely outlawed. That's what I want. That's what I would do if you had to ask me. And we'd be up in the penthouse with Harley and Ivy and Jessica and Helen. So, yeah. One day at a time. One day at a time. Jessica Alba was so fucking sexy for no reason, you know? I guarantee you I wouldn't get along with her in real life. Like, I'm sure like within a day she'd probably get on my nerves and I'd be like, can you just... Or I'd get on her nerves, you know? Of course, this turned out into me talking about Jessica Alba. But, yeah. Specs, thank you, Devo Structure. Spec says, thanks, Marco.
Thanks, Marco.
Baju has to pay the goon tax. Yes. Why aren't millionaires and billionaires generous? Well, they wouldn't be millionaires and billionaires anymore, you know. Millionaires like to make excuses that they can't fix everything, but they can and choose to eat off the devil's plate. Yeah, wasn't there the thing where Elon asked the world, what was it, like the EU or something like that, how much it would cost to cure world hunger, to solve world hunger, and they gave him an amount and he had more than enough and he's like, nah. I don't know if that's true. I heard that. The 300 chat. Oh, yeah. Is there anyone working on outlawing MLMs? Well, we're all working on outlawing MLMs as we continue to tell the stories and expose them and show that the results are the same. But, you know, as Professor Bill Keep said at the MLM conference a couple years ago, they won't go quietly. There's a lot of money in this. There's a lot of money. There's generational wealth tied up in these things. There's, you know, real estate holdings, holding companies, trusts. It's a elaborate network that's going to be very difficult to unwind or to drain the swamp, so to speak. So, yeah. I wish Marco had shares we could invest in until he wins the lawsuit. You can buy shares. Streamlabs link in the chat. The best place to buy the shares, you know? Man. Fuck. Yeah, what up, Jason? I see you. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I got. I appreciate it. Really, more than you know. Thank you again to Jordan as well for calling in and chatting with me. I'll put the chapter marker on the stream so you guys can see it. Oh, also, before I go, I was going to show you what we were discussing a moment ago with the documentary. Apparently, there's a documentary that has already been released about these types of abusive, like, schools or programs, whatever you want to call them. So let me pull this up for y'all.
What do you do if your child gets caught in a cycle of self-destructive or even dangerous behavior? Some desperate parents are having their children abducted, taken against their will to a behavior modification program.
The reality is torture of children.
I got here at 3 in the morning and they said I was not allowed to talk anymore and you can never leave.
They were being treated like prisoners. I had never done drugs in my entire life, but in order for me to graduate, I had to confess to using heroin, crack, cocaine, LSD.
They dehumanize the kids, that these kids are liars and manipulators. They use that to create compliance.
It's hard to comply with something that you know is wrong.
We have these handwritten, signed and dated confessions of abuse.
Oh my God. They use physiological experiences to manipulate the mind.
It's meant to break you. Palms up, palms down.
It is literal brainwashing.
You are at fault. You are to blame.
Palms together, palms apart. The people that the program most wants to influence is the parents. It was basically a cult.
And we're talking worldwide.
It's $1 billion industry.
It all went into this.
And it was just to make this guy rich.
It is human trafficking of children.
All these kids being robbed of normal childhoods, it's all still operating.
Bombaclat. Wow. What up, guitar guy? Millennium says, I went to a spiritually abusive church, family-owned business. They gaslit and manipulated. Yeah. They used scripture and wrong and tried to kick me out. I left before they could. Oh, wow. How is it legal? I mean, that's the thing, right? It's not legal to do those things, but prove it. Prove you did it. You know? Time to make a meme coin. Yeah, for real. Buy the meme coin. Always Marco, Streamlabs.com, Streamlabs link in the chat. All right, y'all, for real this time. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And, yeah, wish me luck, I guess. I'll see you again on Saturday. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Be in there. All right, y'all. Later. Appreciate it.
Marco.
I took a full load. I got to get the bag.
Do you like me?
I'm gonna have to start wearing the cowboy hat on every stream because my hair is just getting fucking out of control. All right, peace.